There's a special offer for listeners. Use code SHOWER and get 15% off your first purchase with code SHOWER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME deodorant.com, code SHOWER for 15% off your first purchase. With over 200,000 five-star reviews, I am so sure you're going to love it. Or return it for free with Lumi's 60-day money-back guarantee. That's LUME deodorant.com, code SHOWER to save 15% today.
This is Eric Miner, Incorporated in Canton,
All right,
Connecticut.
Eric
go.
used to have an in-house IT staff, but not anymore.
Certainly the difference between when we did it ourselves and having Tab do it now is that they certainly know more about what they're doing than we ever did.
Not only does Eric get IT expertise, Tab Computer Systems doesn't tie him or his company's funds to a long-term contract.
Tab has been good at helping us to do what we do well and what we need to do well.
Which is sell building supplies and lumber. With Tab's monthly service plan, Eric's company has its own IT department that has to earn his business each month.
I would not hesitate at all to recommend Tab Computer Systems to assist any small business out there.
No long-term contracts.
And 10.
Call Tab today, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business.
Michael
Tab
B.
Computer Systems.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
Oh, messed that up.
That actually sounded good.
Demographic change is the key to the Democratic Party's political ambitions.
This conspiracy theory has been increasingly echoed by many who are on the right.
Those like Fox's Tucker Carlson, who continue to push dangerous and baseless conspiracies.
I really think because of demographic changes in this country, I think that the Democratic Party is going to win Texas moving forward, and the Democratic Party is going to be in power.
There's the demographic change that's happening in America right now gives the upper hand to Democrats.
This census that just came out especially drives home the point that Texas is next.
It's a state where the demographics are changing in ways that are favorable to the Democratic Party.
Demographic changes that help the Democrats.
Democrats for a decade now, along with Arizona and Texas, have had on this sort of long-term project of trying to take some red states across the Sun Belt and flip them blue as demographic changes are taking place there.
Yeah. Demographic change. Oh, baby. A conspiracy, they told us. What's going on, everybody? It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC, filling in for Todd Feinberg, my homie G Money Slice Grip. Another homie G Money Slice Grip actually inspired today's opening monologue. A good friend of mine, a very good friend of mine from back in the day, Gio, originally from the Bronx, I believe lives in Indianapolis now. How good of a friend of mine. Gio sent me an instant message today on Facebook, and it is a viral picture that many of you have seen online. A person at a grocery store took a picture of a receipt at a bodega, store, grocery store, whatever. Or as Joe Biden would call it, a bogota. But took a picture of a receipt. Someone had purchased something at the bodega, and it was purchased with an EBT card. The difference between the EBT card and a regular debit card is the EBT card on the receipt, the balance of the card shows up on the receipt. I didn't know that. Now, I'm back in the old food stamps days, where you actually had the paper food stamp. EBT, I didn't have one because, I got a job. I didn't see any need for it, but many people use it. But when this person swiped it, the balance on the EBT card showed up. And if you've seen the picture, the EBT balance is upwards of $13,000. $13,000. And Gio saw this and said, hey, Can you explain this to me? Let me see if I can read the exact quote, the way he wrote it to me. He says, hey, I'm going to send you something. When you get a chance, talk about this on the radio, okay? And explain this to me. I'll be happy to, Gio, because you're my friend, my buddy, my pal. Unfortunately, the working poor in this country are useless to the government. They're absolutely useless. And everything that has been done for the working poor in this country by our federal government has not reaped the rewards for giving them everything that they've given them. From the war on poverty in the 60s, the war on poverty in the 60s, to the tune of $52 trillion today. The 70s giving African Americans and other minorities political power. The 80s and the blacktivism of Sharpton and Jackson. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. In the 2000s, the Bush era, African Americans, they, couldn't say anything to them, couldn't get them to do anything because it was a wartime. It's a war effort. September 11th happened 9 months into his presidency. So really couldn't do anything for the African American community. But then we got Obama in 2008. Black people showed out. Overwhelmingly voted for Barack Obama, their chosen candidate. They showed up twice. But they noticed that African Americans wouldn't show up during the midterm elections. They lost Obama, the Senate, and the Congress. Well, the Congress and the Senate. Black folks didn't show up. People in the minority communities didn't show up. Overwhelmingly low numbers in those. 24% of registered voters in those communities that normally get the government assistance, not just welfare, WIC, EBT, everything from Section 8, Medicaid, Medicare, all that stuff. They didn't show up. 24% of registered voters. You can't show up after everything we give you? Fine. Then Hillary came around. What happened to the overwhelming support for a third Obama turn? Oh, no. You didn't show up that much. Hillary Clinton only got 88% of the black vote and gave us Trump because you didn't show up. That's interesting. And Trump comes in and he shuts down the border. But remember, he turned African Americans against, well, at least the Democrat Party turned African Americans against Donald Trump. And there were people who were running around saying, F Donald Trump and we support immigrants. They all started believing that. And then Trump lost in 2020. And right around that time, what did the African American community start talking about? Reparations. The Democrat Party said, wait a minute, reparations? That's going to cost trillions of dollars. So they started holding commissions, talking a bunch of platitudes about what they could do, but they knew that they would never get elected if they guaranteed African Americans reparations. So unfortunately, everything it is that the Democrat Party has done for African Americans wasn't enough. And at the same time, they weren't showing up where they needed them most. So they decided to import support. Now, if you ask yourself, if reparations commissions are coming up with a plan that says every African American in the country should get $1, maybe $2 million apiece, where you know that you can bring an illegal immigrant into the country and give him, say, $20,000, a place to live, and a job, I'd say the cost benefit of that is overwhelming for the Democrat Party. Now, see, in the beginning, demographic change was about getting these people from out of the country into red states where white folks lived. But white folks stood up, and they kept that from happening. The governors could not keep them in there, and there was no way they were going to change their way of life. And so then they used the most useful idiots of all, Democratic legislatures across the country, like Chicago and Detroit and New York. And they started flooding the zone. But you might say to yourself, but Reese, we were already voting Democrat in most of those cities. Not always. Mayor Giuliani, ring a bell? Used to be David Dinkins, the first black mayor, and then Giuliani came out of that. They voted Republican. So they didn't have a stronghold on New York. Now they want to make sure of it. They want to make sure of it everywhere, anywhere that they can. In places that are, swing states like Pennsylvania, Ohio, They want to make sure that there's demographic changes in the most vulnerable cities because you won't fight back. Now, here's the part I need you to understand. Here's the part I need you to understand. Barack Obama said it best because I heard him say it. He said to the African-American community when talking about won't that upset them, his response was, yeah, but what are they going to do, vote Republican? What are they going to do, vote Republican? And the African-American community said, of course not. Their choice has always been vote Democrat or stay home, not the third choice, the other party. And when they already know what you're going to do, you have no political capital. The reason why Chicago was overwhelmed is because the Democrat Party isn't afraid of them. Not the black community can't be afraid of them. There are not enough people who are willing to go against the grain and vote for Republicans. Damn if they get shamed for it. They would never, ever do it. Vote Republican? That's just against who I am. So they give this money to, obviously, to get a reward from it. I mean, what's the objective here? You don't give all of that money to a bunch of people and get nothing from it. You give them that money to ensure that they vote for you, to ensure that they keep you in power. And if African-American communities are going to keep asking for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that you know that you can't deliver on, you import someone for thousands. I get the poorest wretches across the globe, and I give them pennies. They can take $7 an hour and send half of it back to their native country and still live comfortably. You couldn't do that with an African American in this country. Pay him $7? The African American community is now online talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage. How can the Democrats keep up with that? They keep wanting more and more and more. So Democrats have decided that this is what they're going to do with the African-American community. They're going to promote your death. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going to promote African-American death. We start with abortion. That's my favorite. Abortion is always the favorite. I was just looking at the numbers before the show. Please indulge me for a second. I was looking at the total birth rates based on race in this country. And this is an alarming group of numbers. African Americans in 2016, 623,886 to be precise, was the birth rate that year. In 2022, that number is down to 573,922. That means that the birth rate in the African American community is declining. I looked at the same number for Hispanics and Latino in the country. Same years, 2016 to 2022. In 2016, 918,447. 2022, 937,421. See the difference? The number is growing. And the number comparatively between Hispanic and African American is 2-to-1. So ask yourself, if I eliminate one group that's asking for millions and I influx people asking for pennies, and I can get what I need from the pennies, and that is absolute power, absolutely forever, I am no longer going to even cater to a group of people who won't give me what I want when I need it every 2 years, every 4 years, or every 6 years. I don't need you. So the reason why that money's going out, now people are sitting up there looking at it. Now, of course, no person who's on welfare or no person who has an EBT card would ever look at the money that they get from the federal government and ever accumulate how much money they've taken from the federal government or has been given to them by the federal government and say, wow, I've amassed about $1 million in the past, 20 years on an EBT card. No, What they do see is somebody walking into the country and getting handed as much as $25,000, $20,000, even $18,000 on the rip walking in. So what are they getting you at? Your jealousy. Well, how the hell does he get that? And I only get $700 every 2 weeks, so I get $1,200 every month. But the question is what are you going to do about it? Are you going to vote out the people who ensure that you get that money, that you get those benefits? No, because the alternative is the conservative group that's going to tell you, the conservative party that's going to say, we're going to get you jobs so that you ensure your own wealth. So you're going to have to change the way in which you vote. And if you sit up there and you play that silly little game about, well, there's homeless veterans out there who don't get a dime and these people are getting $18,000, that's not really what you're concerned about. You're concerned that you're not getting that money. I'm not talking about you, Gio, but there are people out there who keep using the veterans as a reason for them to be outraged. No, you're not outraged about that. You believe that the government has been there, it was always there to take care of you. And now you see him taking care of somebody else, and you want your cut. But right now, unfortunately, the government sees you as disposable. They found a new cash cow. They found a new way to ensure that they stay in power, and that's to import them. So trust me, you can look at that $20,000. You can look at that $13,000 on the EBT card. But if you ask yourself what the other group is asking for, and that's the African Americans in this country with reparations and housing and everything else, if I'm looking at it on a budgetary level as a Democrat, I'm saying, sorry, guys, you're asking a bit much, and you're not guaranteeing that I'm going to stay in power. You won't show up on election day. You don't even think your vote counts. You think the election system is rigged. I don't get any bang for my buck. But with these folks, Manuel here, oh, hell yeah. I give him that $20,000 check. I ensure that he gets a driver's license, which will only lead to him voting. And guess what? He is going to show his gratitude every day, every election day. He's going to remember what I did for him and what this party did for him. He's going to vote for me forever. That's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. So, it doesn't matter. I mean, the sad part about it is that this discussion is happening on WTIC. This isn't happening anywhere else. The African-American community, when they're having this conversation on the radio, you know, whatever homeboy Charlemagne the God, when they're having that conversation is not being had like this. They're not telling the truth over there. They're not telling them, hey, you know what? You need to stop depending on the government. Perhaps you should vote your principles. Vote for a party that's going to ensure not only that you keep that you have a job, but that you keep a job, and that you keep getting more and more money when you work on your job, that you keep more of the money that you make on that job. Where the other party's saying, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Sit on your tuchus and we'll take care of you. Now you realize that, guess what? They can take care of anybody they want to, and you. But they know you're not going to do anything about it. They know that your options are only twofold. Vote or stay home. And they know you're more than likely going to stay home. Your voting patterns show. But these folks can't wait to vote. They can't wait to show their gratitude. You mean I get $18,000 and all I got to do is pull a lever with the D next to it? Say less. So if you don't think that you have political power, I can't tell you nothing. If you think you have political power, act accordingly. That's all I can say. Because Kamala Harris and homeboy Tampon Tim, oh, baby, they're going to sell you a bill of goods. They're going to tell you the next benefit is around the corner. While they let more and more people in and had them take over every part of your society, forcing you out, forcing more and more of you to kill yourselves, continue to destroy your own lives and your communities. And you'll keep saying, I ain't voting Republican. That goes against my principles. Yeah, Keep aborting your babies.
Here we go.
We'll be back. More news, more views when we return. And Gio, thank you for this. I appreciate it. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Yard Goats Baseball is back Tuesday, August 13th. And what a week we've got. A Yard Goats Kids Lunchbox giveaway on Tuesday. Italian Heritage Night on Wednesday. Country Music Night on Thursday with live music. Strikeout Cancer Night on Friday. Fireworks on Saturday. And Sunday, kids run the bases after the game. Get your tickets now before they're gone at yardgoatsbaseball.com.
Monkey, good to see you. Hey, Gio, I didn't expect you here. I thought you'd be on TIC. Gio says, I agree with you. If you were to give the average American that's on welfare $18,000 split in cash and food stamps, they wouldn't do anything literally. They would just probably stay home and milk the country. When it came time to voting, you are 100% right. They would not vote for that person. They would probably won't vote. That's right. They would just collect the cash. They don't think that they have an obligation to it. They think it's owed to them. Gio also says, I figured if anybody can get this out on the air and get any type of response, it would be you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You're getting people regardless of right in front of us. You want to talk about I know it. I know I am. For those who don't speak English, touche is French for derriere. KB's a knucklehead.
For it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800.
Wow, athletes getting signed by Lamborghini. That's crazy.
What's that?
.com. We have 5 offices in the North.
2 college athletes, wide receiver and a defensive back, signed nil deals with Lamborghini.
Damn.
7 degrees. I'm John.
Crazy.
Middletown police have made an arrest in a shooting from last year. Chauncey Wilson of Hartford now facing charges in connection with the shooting of Jonathan Semede in a parking lot of a hookah lounge back in May of 2023. 4 others are already facing charges ranging from murder to conspiracy. Man's in the hospital after he was shot overnight in West Haven. Police there say he was shot on Elm Street, made his way to a gas station from where police were called. Detectives say he is in the hospital with arm and leg injuries that are deemed non-life-threatening. State officials were in New Britain to address the issue of skimming in Connecticut. In recent weeks, there have been an uptick of incidents where consumers have been had by devices in ATMs and grocery terminals that can steal credit and debit card info. Consumers are advised to monitor their accounts closely and report anything that looks suspicious. Newington police investigating after an overnight burglary at a storage center in town. They got the call around 1:30 this morning. The Cube Smart facility on Maselli Road. That's where a witness reported 3 suspects flee in a pickup truck. Police say over a dozen units showed signs of forced entry. Vice President Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, their first full day as running mates. They are holding a rally as we speak in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. They also have a trip scheduled for Michigan as they hit these battleground states over the next several days. Tropical Storm Debbie, or what's left of it, still making a mess down south. The center of Debbie was over the Atlantic southeast of Charleston, and it's expected to make landfall again today somewhere in the area of the Carolinas. WTIC News Time is coming up on 3:32. Our forecast with meteorologist Bob Larson.
Cloudy the rest of this afternoon. The shower or two, high 73, and mostly cloudy tonight, low 59. Tomorrow, considerable cloudiness with a passing shower or two, high 75. Cloudy, becoming humid tomorrow night with a couple of showers, low 66. Humid Friday with occasional rain and a thunderstorm, becoming breezy in the afternoon as tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches the area, high 79. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, it's cloudy and 67 right now in Hartford. Wall Street, things started out good, but have taken a turn for the worse. The
No.
down 139 points. The Nasdaq's down 80, and the S&P is off 16 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.
Oh, you didn't hear?
No.
I'm John Silva,
No, I'm just
WTIC
saying that,
1080 News.
what's his
This
name, who
is
called
the
in and
story
said
of
that
the one.
the
As
Dow
a
was going to
maintenance
drop
engineer,
again, and he was
hears
freaking
things
right.
differently.
Yeah.
The untrained ear, everything.
That man know what he talking about.
He does. He does.
But he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows,
How much money you think he making? Because he do shorts, so
which is music.
he probably killing them.
He, 6 figures, without a doubt, if not 7.
6 figures, yeah.
Yeah,
That
he's
sounds
gotta
about
be.
right.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection
The
or
only thing,
allergies
well, I'll
ruin
tell you
your
what's
day.
amazing about
Breathe
what he's
easier,
doing,
sleep better, and feel
and I don't even
healthier
know
with
if he
Navage.
was
Visit
doing it before
Navage.com,
2008,
Walmart, Walgreens,
but that's
CVS,
what
or a
he's
store
just
near
doing
you.
what the banks were doing in 2008. They
With
knew
tens
that
of thousands
every
of
one of those
satisfied patients
pieces of
across
paper
America, it's no
of the loans
surprise
they gave for all the
QC Kinetics
houses,
gets 5-star
they knew,
reviews.
the
I'm
banks
feeling
knew
on
they were
top of
worth
the world
nothing.
because of QC
So they
Kinetics.
put
I'm able
they
to
put all
do
their
the
money
things that I
on
wasn't
the
able to
complete
do
crash.
for a long time.
And the
I can
crash
recommend them highly. I would
saved their
recommend
behinds.
QC
They knew they were
anybody.
never going to
QC
get that money
Kinetics
back
says
from the
changed
loaners
my
or the
life.
I couldn't
lenders
believe it. I
or the
honestly was
the
skeptical,
loaners.
but the pain went from a
So
10 to a
they
0.
covered their
Real
own ass.
people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
Kinetics regenerate.
But who put the bug in their ear to do that though?
Oh no, that was the setup. So when Clinton,
So they set it up from the jump.
yeah, exactly. Clinton said you have
I tell as
to
many people
give
as
these
possible.
loans
I
to
am an
low-income
ambassador. I
people,
love
or
QC
we will
Kinetics.
call
QC
you
Kinetics,
racist.
the nation's leader in
Right? If you
advanced
don't make this available, this was
regenerative
like the
medicine.
Community
No drugs, no
Reinvestment
surgery.
Act
Call
on
QC
steroids.
Kinetics now.
Gotcha.
And so
Quotation.
he was telling all the
Call
banks,
QC
this is what you
Kinetics,
need to do. So the banks are like, okay, we do it, but you know we're going to, our ass is going to get handed to us when these people can't pay. So the banks came up with a scheme that says, well, let's just bet against ourselves.
Your storage container at eagleleasing.com.
That is all gonna fail.
Yeah,
And
like
it
we
did.
know it's going to fail.
On site like
So let's
that.
secure
I'm
ourselves
Mike
that
Eagle, and just
even if
remember,
it
don't
fails,
get
banks
stressed,
might
get
close
Eagle.
down,
You see us
but our
everywhere.
shareholders
We're
are
Eagle Leasing.
still
Need
get
the space
paid.
shot?
And then the
Rent one of
banks
our
got
clean,
bailed out
dry,
afterwards,
ground-level
and they had
storage
to get
container
bailed out
from
because
Eagle
they were
Leasing
doing it at the
today.
behest of the
Call
federal
1-800
government
get
anyway.
Eagle or check us out and get
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was $60 billion.
Yeah,
whatever.
the whole deal was
It's
whole
everywhere.
deal was
We're
listen,
Eagle
we
Leasing.
wouldn't be in this position if you didn't make us do it. So they have to bail them out.
What's that smell?
Barack Obama had to
There's
bail them
sewage all
out
over the
too.
basement. It's coming out of the toilet in the shower. Honey, this stinks. We need to call the bee.
It's finally getting warm again, and that means it's
$green bill, man. Ain't that?
roots are
That's how they
flowing
get
into your
down.
sewage system. For $89, we will come out and perform a video camera inspection of your drainage system to ensure everything flows out of the house instead of back into it. We offer very affordable payment plans as low as 0%. Call the Bee today. Callthebee.com. That's calltheletter.b.com.
Are you a proud Connecticut business owner? We are too, with more than 45 years of experience handling business transactions for small and mid-sized businesses. And we know that not every business relationship works out as planned. If you find yourself in a dispute, call the law firm of Brown, Painderis, and Scott. Our team of business lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you. Just
Got
one
it.
subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery,
And we go on to
Lifetime,
50, right?
Hallmark Channel, and so much more.
Yep.
And current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
And I didn't even mention, you people wouldn't take the vaccine either. Don't forget that. The Democrats are not happy about that. You start moaning about the Tuskegee experiment, you wouldn't take that vaccine. Democrats were like, they just won't do anything we asked them to do after everything we've done for them. They wouldn't take the vaccine either. They got their payback. I totally forgot about that. The vaccine. They were furious. The Hillary thing, they were furious about. The fact that Barack Obama's endorsement of Hillary Clinton didn't bring the African-American community out and allowed Donald Trump to win. Oh, Barack Obama said openly he felt slighted by the African-American community that they caused the election of Donald Trump. He openly said that. He was not shy about that. He thought he felt so disrespected by the black community for that. And a lot of people were responding. It was like, what, you think you own us? I'm like, yeah. Yes. Isn't it the crazy part? You want to hear the crazy part, Gio, about all of this before I get to the phones? Here's the crazy part. Just to show you that these people have no shame, they gave you Kamala Harris. And you jump right on board. Hey, we're going to give you Kamala Harris. She's black. Repeat after me. And sure enough, Kamala Harris, her entire career, Indian American, Asian, East Asian American, Indian American, East Asian American. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the BET Awards come around. Oh, girl, I'm out here in these streets. She's black. Oh, no. Get out of here. And guess what? Y'all just jumped on board. I'm supporting her because she's black. It doesn't matter. Literally, it doesn't matter. They keep throwing it at you. You're not going to vote for Donald Trump again, are you? They're maligning black men. What's that guy's name? Smirkanish on CNN over the weekend. He called those black young men at the barbershop low information voters because they questioned Kamala Harris's ethnicity. Like, you're not supposed to do that. They're low information voters. Ooh. It's insane. It's just insane. Just insane. Anyway, to the phones we go. 860-522-WTIC. Joe is in Simsbury. Hello, sir.
Hello there. So I want to mention something real quick, and I will not give the information away, but I'm a big sports fan, and I know a lot of people are. I just watched the men's 400 meters at the Olympics, and I highly recommend people watch the replay tonight.
Okay.
They're going to see something that, if you're really a sports person, you're going to see someone dig as deep as you may have ever seen someone dig to win that race.
Oh, okay.
You know, it is worth the effort to make sure you watch it if you enjoy sports.
Okay, but do you remember who the runner is? You're not going to say who the runner is?
I'm not going to say. Nope,
oh, okay.
Nope, because it's pretty unbelievable. The camera people did a fantastic job showing what this person just accomplished.
Okay,
so,
and the 400 meter, right?
Men's 400 meters.
Okay, all right, I will put that in there. Yep. Okay. Anyway, what was the other thing, Joe?
So yesterday I called in and we talked about the whole Eversource thing, and I did some more research here.
Okay, I want you to wait a minute, Joe. Wait. I got to stop you. Listen to me. You have to do me a favor, and I hate doing it to you because I feel like I'm stealing your thunder. I'm not. if you will save this for me till after I talk to Ryan Fazio, I want you. Mark in West Hartford told me that he was talking to you, and I got the information that you sent him. I really need you on the backup of that conversation. Can you do that for me?
I can do that.
Okay, because there's a reason why I want you. Listen, after I talk to Ryan, I want to get a follow-up from the information that you gathered. Or if you want to, I kind of want I want to get him and his take as well as yours on the after side, not beforehand.
So there is one question I'd like you to ask Ryan.
I will put it in here right now. I will type it as you speak.
So that question is, we keep seeing, they say that, well, these big increased public benefits charges will last 10 months.
Right.
And they give a specific dollar amount. They say the average is $48. It will last 10 months.
Right.
But every place I see it, I get the feeling that they're wordsmithing it.
Right.
Meaning that, does that mean it's going to go down to the old fees after 10 months? Or does it just mean that it's no longer 48, it's 45?
Right.
So
Okay.
I would love to know the answer to that one, but I will call in after listening to Ryan.
Okay, perfect. And I think you're right. I think that's a great question because there's a legalese in this that says the way that they describe the 10 months doesn't say it ends. It's saying that the current status is 10 months. It does not give any, it doesn't discern whether or not that rate changes or the structure of it changes thereafter.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. No problem. Okay. I will make sure that gets in.
I'll call back.
Thank you, sir. All right. Let's go to Hank, who's in Portland. Hey, Hank, you're on with Reese on the Radio, sir.
Hi. Yeah, I was listening to your monologue earlier.
Yes, sir.
And I did agree with some points that you made, but then I think that some of the points that you made were unfair and not accurately depicting.
Okay, give me the parts that you think were unfair or inaccurate.
Well, I think that with the black vote, I'm black myself. With the black vote, it is a matter of principle, but the principles have been skewed, and only with the recent rise of Trump has the Republican Party become more inclusive. Because as far as I'm concerned, Trump is the first president or candidate on either side that has even bothered to really respectfully acknowledge the black vote and actually campaign to the black voters.
Then what was the deal then Hank, explain to me if you can, because I followed this for many years. I remember the adoration in the African American community for Donald Trump. Raekwon the Chef and Smith & Wesson have a song called Black Trump. It's one of my favorite songs.
Right, yeah.
Black Trump is a great record, but again, everyone was always emulating the lifestyle of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? The gold walls, the gold toilet. That was what the opulence is what every person aspired to within the African American community. And then miraculously, 2016 comes around, Hillary Clinton's the candidate, and it's Donald Trump, Donald Trump said this, Donald Trump said that, and it was like a complete role reversal. I didn't watch a generational shift. I literally watched a brainwash that happened within the African-American community. And when you ask, wait a minute, what happened? People would not even acknowledge the fact that they were led to say, we're supposed to, Donald Trump is this, and not the thing that we knew of him long before. So...
Well, I think you accurately said it when it was a brainwash, because I don't know if you remember, not saying that I support them in any way, shape, or form, because I definitely don't, that in the early emergence of the BLM group, they were hounding Hillary Clinton everywhere because she was ducking from campaigning or doing any type of interviews, and they were not in support of her. And they finally cornered her one time on TV, and she was like, "What do you want? What do you want?" And it was just a bad look for her.
Yeah.
And then immediately they started trying to depict Trump as this racist, where earlier in your monologue, you're talking about Dinkins, you're talking about Sharpton. He played an instrumental role in putting money into Dinkins' campaign for both elections and helping sharpen with the Action Coalition.
National
and I believe
National
putting money
Action
into
Network.
Jesse Jackson.
Yeah. Oh no.
Sorry?
No, you're talking about the National Action Network. Trump was very instrumental in all of those things. He photographed with Rosa Parks. He financed Jesse Jackson's campaign. All of that stuff is true.
But I think that it was just his feud with the Obamas and the fact that I think he knew had some dirt on the Clintons because he was a supporter of the Clintons financially and vocally of the Clintons prior to Obama, and that's what they had to do. They had to do a brainwash that he was this racist, and even after his presidency, you see reflective of what he did. He put money into black businesses, money into HBCs. Not saying that the president is only supposed to work
Cater.
with one group, but he did do that.
Yeah, but
here's
here's my question to you, Hank, because again, what I was talking about with Gio's question is, right? So look, the African American community, and I think you're almost saying the same thing I am, but in a different way. But let me see if I can steer it back. There's a point that you're making about this, and I think that you and I are making the same case. The African American community to the Democrat Party knows that today 30, if not 40% of it is supporting Donald Trump this go-round, right? They're finding their way towards conservatism, if not even MAGA. It's away from the Democrat Party. And it's Democrat policies that are making them stray. It's not like they're running to Trump. They're just straying from Democrats. So from everything from the LGBTQ mission, the mutilization of children, to the woke ideology, everything it is that they're pushing constantly is really turning off a lot of people in the African-American community, primarily black males. Not so much about black females, but definitely black males. Now that that's happening...
Well, let's be clear about it. The black community is going back to the Republican Party because the black community played an instrumental role in the building of the Republican Party, and most work that was done productively in the black community was when we were Republican.
Right. And that's the point I'm saying here now. So Democrats know that there is a risk of losing the African American community. They can't. The only way that they would ever get them is is the idea of paying them some form of reparations. Every politician within their right mind knows that that is a killer of your election campaign on any level, right? So you can't even entertain reparations. So what do you do to ensure you have a power grab for the rest, forever, in perpetuity, or whatever the case may be? You bring in someone to supplant what you've lost. And that's why I'm saying the immigration thing is a boondoggle for them, because they go, I can give millions of dollars to 48 million African Americans, or I can give thousands of dollars to an implant.
And I agree with you, but I want one thing for you to consider, and maybe come back in another show and talk about, is that look at the Harris and Biden what they've done, their rollout, and you'll see that not in the Asian community, they've given over $7.8 billion in the last 4 years to the Asian community, while black and white communities have kind of had to fend for
themselves,
whatever they could get out of the ARPA program.
Right. Yeah.
So that's another angle of how I think they're infiltrating or trying to secure a vote that I don't know if you're necessarily addressing. And I think that's another reason why, in a subversive way, we're hearing a lot about this brown stuff and Harris's identity and being of Asian descent, because I think that that's another thing that you should see, that there's
there are
the Asian community.
You're right about it, Hank. There are a lot of layers to what's being done by this administration on that level. The only thing was, and you didn't catch it in the beginning, and you said that, I think, in the beginning. It was a direct question to why this black woman posted this video where she was outraged about the EBT card.
Oh yeah, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. No, it's all right. I still love the conversation. I thank you, Hank, for calling in. Was this your first time calling?
No, I call from time to time.
Oh, okay. Well, I love it.
You all the time. I want you to get your own show.
Thank you, Hank. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, sir. I'll let you go. Let me go to Joe in New Hampshire. Thank you, Hank. I appreciate you. Oh, we got to take a break. Damn it. All right, Joe, we'll come back. I didn't realize. Damn it. We're right at 51. All right, Joe, stick around. We'll be with you as soon as we get back on the other side of the break. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential.
Hey, that's good to get bigged up on air.
Yeah, no doubt.
Recruiter.
The dude that's crazy because the dude that just called, he's like, I don't want to be on air. Just want to say I love Reese and I hope he's taking over. Like, is that all? He's like, thank you. That's all. Like, okay.
All right.
Technology identifies the candidates with the skills.
Yeah, Michael B. He was. Hank's a great caller. He calls very rarely, but I know he listens all the time. I like that.
And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus.
He reminds me of James from Windsor and Mark from Windsor.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said he reminds me of James from Windsor and Mark from
Yeah.
Windsor. Got the same kind of monotone voice and everything.
Exactly.
.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Glenn Zinn, the IS manager at Lux Bond and Green, truly appreciates the service he receives from Tab Computer Systems.
I think responsiveness to any problem that we have, whether that be a broken printer or setting up new computers or a quote for a new computer. I've never really had a problem getting information or getting somebody to help me out.
Tab takes responsiveness very seriously.
I think that's one of the really good things at Tab. The people from the person you call, or I use the customer portal to send a service message, I get responses right away. So there is good coordination with the staff, and everybody's just so professional and nice.
Fast response from professional and nice people. Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. Or
Thanks,
visit
Gio.
tabinc.com.
I would definitely recommend Tab to any other small businesses in Connecticut. The professionalism has been wonderful throughout the years.
Technologies advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
1 minute.
Loves to fly kites.
Okay.
But my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now
And we still got Joe?
Treat my skin.
Yeah, you have 3 minutes with him.
Okay, I'll take that. I think that's good.
Riza, a prescription only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible.
Is that real estate,
Just 4
Joe?
doses a year after 2 starter doses.
I'm not sure. Jordan, New Hampshire must be.
Yeah, it's real estate, Joe.
Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infection.
If it is, that I want to start calling it.
Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection.
Not real estate. I'm sorry. Wall Street Joe. Wall Street Joe. Yeah.
Chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Gio, that tune right there, that's from our era. Look at Craig Mack right there. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I've only got 3 minutes. Joe is in New Hampshire. Thanks for holding, Joe. It's Reese on the Radio. What's up?
3 minutes is enough time to call your broker and get the heck out of the market. You know what happened today?
Exactly as you called it. Before you even came to air, Roland and I were just talking about you. By the way, you are now officially Wall Street Joe, okay? You call me Reverend Reese, you're Wall Street Joe from now on. So you called it yesterday on the show. You said right before the close, there was a dip, and it was going to happen again today, and sure enough.
Yep, today, the second dead cat bounce, and boy, is it a big dead cat. It's a 50-pound cat.
Wow.
It got up to the peak today a little after 11 a.m., and it was up 90. The S&P is what I follow. It was up 95. I said, holy cow. Yesterday it got up 110 and ended up 47, which was a big drop at the end. Well, today, the big surge up to 11.15, 95, and guess what? It has reversed about 120 since then. It's now down 32, the low of the day. It'll probably be the low of the day when it closes. So this is the second major sell-off, more than yesterday. The sell-off today is more than 65 points. Yesterday it was 65. Today it's 95, 100. We'll see.
Now we've got the
I was
rest of
talking
the
about credit card.
we've got the rest of the week. We got Thursday and Friday. Are we expected to see work? Because if it happens on Friday, that'll spare the administration because, of course, they'll have the end of the weekend. But that doesn't mean that we're going to see an uptick on Monday. But do you see this do you see a sell-off continuing for the next 2 days?
Well, I think it's just going to continue right in the aftermarket tonight because it had two chances. The hedge funds pouring in billions to try to recover the market. They were successful till about 11:15 this morning. Checked the chart, tried to come back again at 5:03, 3:10. Not as much. Now a major sell-off at the end. That is bear, and you're going to see a lot of hurt tomorrow through Friday. And you got the thing with Iran. When that happens, that's going to be the sealer, wherever the market is that day.
We have no – I was just watching Trey Wingo yesterday. He was talking about his new book, Black Saturday, and he says, everyone's expecting Iran to attack within the week, but no one knows. There hasn't been any chatter, but everyone's expecting it in the coming week that this attack's going to happen. They just don't know where. And –
yeah, I'm looking at my screen. The market's about to close, and it's down 38.40 handles, 40 points on the S&P, and it was up 5 around 11:15. So that's 135 down on the S&P.
Wow.
People aren't going to realize it because they're going to say, okay, the S&P was down 40 today. Not good, but not terrible. But we really went down 135 since 11 this morning.
Yeah.
And that's the clincher. That's the clincher, being a technical person that I am. So UVIX, get back in UVIX.
Yeah, UVIX, that's exactly what Wall Street Joe has been telling us. All right, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. You paying attention? What do you got your 401k there, buddy?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it the last couple of days.
UVIX, apparently. UVIX. My wife has been asking me all day. Yes.
What is that now? Is that a symbol, UVIX? Or
yeah, that's the symbol.
UVIX.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where we want to go right now? Is
that's
what we're
what
getting?
Wall Street Joe is telling everybody, get there now.
UVIX. All right. Futures, ETF.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Well, you can get it for $10.04 right now, so.
You could buy 100 of that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem there. I'm going to be – I'm working until I die. No way around that now. Should I go into a cash position?
I don't know. I'm saying, can you imagine Mark Christopher giving senior traffic?
Well, we're just about there now. Are you kidding?
Well, you can always give traffic at the Villages. That's what you can do.
Exactly, down in Florida. I'm one fall away from being in a walker with tennis balls on the bottom. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, just a little tight as you move into the tunnel. Westbound 94 looks good, burning out into Farmington. Both sides of 91. 91 southbound's a little slow at 33. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84. That looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. We're seeing some delays. 84 eastbound from Southbury into between exit 15 and 16. We had some road work between exit 16 and 17 in the right lane. I believe that's clearing as we speak. 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Friday, the rest of today, cool for August with a few sprinkles and a passing shower, low 73. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 59. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, brief shower, 2 high 75. Becoming humid tomorrow night, a couple of showers, low 66. Humid on Friday, periods of rain and perhaps a thunderstorm. As tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches, it'll become breezy in the afternoon, high 79. Showers and thunderstorms from tropical rainstorm Debbie Friday night, low 71. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC.
Be right back.
99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock, 68 degrees, cloudy skies in Hartford. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News saying millions in benefits have been stolen over the last year. State officials say they are trying to get ahead of card skimmers, thieves who place devices on ATMs and other transaction pads in order to steal card info. EBT cards that contain federal SNAP or food stamp benefits are among those being targeted. State Social Services Commissioner Andrea Barton-Reeves says scammers strike those accounts early in each month.
So sometimes the criminals, they wait until the benefits are loaded during the first few days of the month. They know that that's the time that we place benefits on cards, and they will drain accounts as soon as those benefits are deposited.
They say card users, especially EBT card users, should change their PIN numbers often. They also suggest shielding your PIN code when you use the machine and use the tap to pay when you can. If anything looks off about the machine you're using, you're advised to tell a store manager or contact police. The Democratic presidential ticket hit the stage in Wisconsin this afternoon.
Hello, Eau Claire.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz greeting the gathering before Vice President Harris took the stage.
Because we know that while fighting for a brighter future may be hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. And so we will continue to fight for affordable housing, for affordable health care, affordable child care, and paid leave.
Republican Vice Presidential nominee Ohio Senator J.D. Vance also in Wisconsin following a campaign stop in Michigan.
She has not been a good vice president for the American people, and I don't think she deserves a promotion. I think she deserves to be fired, and that's what we're here talking to people about.
Man's in the hospital after he was shot early this morning in West Haven. Officers and fire department personnel were called to a Citgo station on Elm Street around 2:45. They found a man lying on the floor inside with gunshot wounds to the leg and arm. He's now in stable condition at an area hospital with what police say are non-life-threatening injuries. Detectives say they think the man was shot on Elm between 1st and 2nd Avenues, then made his way to the gas station in order to seek help. New efforts underway to remove lead from our daily lives. Connecticut's new lead-free campaign aims to protect children from the harmful impacts of lead. The plan is to get started in removing lead from older homes, schools, and businesses. Democratic State Senator Saud Anwar of South Windsor, a physician, explains why children are often the focus of these efforts.
The blood-brain barrier is supposed to protect us from all toxins, except the brain barrier thinks it's calcium, and it allows it to go through. And when it goes through, it takes away a young child's ability to have the full potential. And for the next 50, 60, 100 years of that child's life, they will not be able to get that full potential.
$20 million in leftover federal COVID money is funding the effort. Now this report from the Summer Games, sponsored by Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care.
CBS Summer Games. Here's Wendy Gillette.
Sprinting star Noah Lyles advanced to tomorrow's 200-meter final as he guns for a double victory in the 100 and 200. It's a gold for the Americans in women's cycling team pursuit over New Zealand. In skateboarding, Team USA's Tom Schaar took the silver in the men's park final. And an American man won a medal in weightlifting for the first time in 4 decades. Georgia's Hampton Morris got bronze in the 61 kilogram. The U.S. men's volleyball team had a devastating loss at the hands of Poland in the semifinals. The team has not won gold since Beijing in 2008 and won't in Paris, thanks to a tight loss in 5 sets. Kevin Durant netted himself a record in last night's U.S. men's basketball team win over Brazil in the quarterfinals. He scored 11 points to become Team USA's leading scorer in Olympic competition with 494 points. The U.S. men play Serbia tomorrow in the semifinals. I'm Wendy Gillette at the Summer Games in Paris, CBS News.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
WTIC News Time 4:05. Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. The market's comeback fizzled out. The Dow finished down 234 points today. NASDAQ was off 171 and the S&P gave back 40 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Attention, if you...
1 minute.
IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354.
And 10, going in quick right after the drop.
You got it.
2840. 800-354-2840.
Tax relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio. Filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
In a couple of minutes, we have State Senator Ryan Fazio, who's going to be talking about the Eversource craziness that's going on and what I'd like to call the gouging of customers in Connecticut. We'll talk to him in a little bit as well and get his take. I'm going to ask him a couple of very, very important questions about what's this public benefit charge that legislation, it looks like the government is getting a lot of money from. So we'll have him on after the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Did you see this thing? What? I never heard of a group, Bon Iver. Bon Iver. If you're a fan of theirs, I mean, maybe there's a song I might like or may have heard, but they're in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and the Kamala Harris campaign is doing a speech at a concert. Then it was Megan Thee Stallion. Now it's Bon Iver. Is that how they're getting the crowds? This is crazy. What the heck is that about? We're being duped. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. And if you're heading into Hartford right now, seeing delays on the southbound side of 91, getting by 33 Jennings Road. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tapping the brakes, Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound, good ride, Farmington to Vernon. 291, 384, no issues. Heading toward Middletown, that looks good. 9 in the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound, Southbury slowing, approaching and getting by exit 15. We had some road work between 16 and 17. Looks like that's clear now. And a little bit of a delay again as you move 17 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. If you're 91 in the Parkway, both moving very well, heading down in toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Quick flight the rest of the section. Still see some light shower activity south of Hartford, while at the same time the sun's breaking through to the north. Today's high 73. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 59, and mostly cloudy tomorrow. There could be a shower or two, high 75. Turning quite humid tomorrow night. A couple of showers, low 66, and very humid on Friday with occasional rain, even an afternoon thunderstorm as tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches. Friday's high 79. Temperatures now range from 71 degrees in Windsor to 65 at West Hartford. It's 68 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
I'm Jan, Deb's sister. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Okay, but I said it first.
It's more than food. It's my Big Y Rewards.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
And what could be better than two of your favorites for $3.99? Like the McDouble, McChicken, or 6-piece McNugget. So stop in for twice the delicious. The price of participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Retirement can be scary, but only...
1 minute.
That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org.
Are we supposed to call or is he calling in?
He's supposed to be calling in.
Retirement.
Okay.
You'll have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history.
And 10.
Tankless
Is he still not on?
Compact, wall-hung.
Nah, he's not here.
Lower
All
energy
right.
bills,
That's
longer
all right.
life than
Just
tanks,
move
and a
on.
15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Well, I was supposed to have a guest. Ryan Fazio was supposed to be on. I'm sure Adam is listening. Adam, what's up with your boy? Let's get him on the phone there. You know what? Every time I hear that bed, that music bed, I realize that's Phil Collins singing. But is it Phil Collins or is it Genesis on that music bed? Do you know, Roland? Maybe
Allegedly, it's Phil Collins.
It's Phil Collins. Okay. I always hear that. I just go, I don't know that song that well. Okay, so I got some other stuff that I need to get into, but hopefully, Ryan will call in because I'm loaded for Bear. Unfortunately, I never really get all of it out when I want to. So since I have the opportunity to, and he's not here, I want to talk about what I talked about just yesterday. Yesterday, I said, I don't know what anyone's talking about. This Tim Walz pick by the Kamala Harris campaign is a joke. There's no way that they picked this guy with this much damage. A guy who capitulated to BLM, a guy who put tampon dispensers in fourth graders' bathrooms, a guy who made it legal for any age, for any child of any age to get a sex change operation. Just no way. This guy's got stolen valor issues. This guy abandoned his troop, his platoon, before they were about to be deployed to Iraq. There's no way they picked this guy and they said, yeah, no problem here. And you've got Eric Holder, right-hand man to Barack Obama, and David Plouffe, the guy who orchestrated 2008 for Barack Obama, and these guys picked Tim Walz as her candidate, and we know that Kamala had nothing to do with it. We know that. First of all, we know her hiring practices suck. 92% of her staff have left her in her entire career. She's had a 92% turnover rate. So we know her hiring practices are garbage, which would probably lend to you saying, well, maybe that's the reason why I should pick this guy, Reese. No. Eric Holder was in charge. Remember, they are supposed to be there to be the guardrails, to make sure that this girl doesn't mess it up. And they did. So I said, this is nothing more than the Obama campaign sabotaging Kamala Harris, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And then after I said that, by the way, I was saying it before the show yesterday. I said it to my wife before the show yesterday, and she was like, yeah, just like, that seems crazy. And she's reading all the stuff that I'm showing her. Yeah, and this, and then this, and then this. And she's going, wow, it's a crazy pick. And we watched Shapiro give his speech, and we're both going, really? They didn't pick this guy? And then on Fox News Channel, The 5 airs. Jesse Waters, who I've talked about, he and I both kind of started into business together when he worked for Bill O'Reilly and I worked for Star and Buck Wild, right here in Hartford, Connecticut. We used to communicate. And I guess we're kindred spirits because this happened on The 5 yesterday. And I was a little bit baffled.
I would have gone with the younger guy, but who knows if this was even her choice. Eric Holder was running the vetting op. He chose him, probably. He's Obama's wingman. He probably was like, Kamala, you're picking Walz. Let's just lose this and get on to 28. Because this is like a sacrificial lamb pick. This is the pick you put up there to get crushed, and then so you keep your better candidates ready for the next cycle. It's also a trick pick, because this guy's not Minnesota nice. He's Minnesota nuts. Yeah. They keep saying this guy's, there's Midwestern white value. Come on, this guy's a lunatic. Sanctuary cities, driver's license for illegals, sanctuary cities for sex changes for children. And if you don't want the sex change for your kid, then the state will come take your kid away from you. This guy put tampons in boys' bathrooms. 4th grade boys' bathrooms, tampons. He wants CRT taught. He was all about toppling the Columbus statue. This guy changed the flag of this state to look more like Somalia. What is wrong with this guy? In COVID, he had a snitch line so your neighbors could rat you out if you broke his lockdown rules. This man is out of his mind. He actually went and joined the army, and then right before they deployed to Iraq, quit. And all his unit is like, whoa, bro, where'd you go? They can't stand this guy.
He's toxic. After everything I said, Jesse Waters repeats it. I'm sitting there, even my wife sat there, we're watching because we DVR it, and we're watching it. My wife looks at me and is like, are these people watching your show? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, no, I don't think they're watching my show. I think it's pretty obvious. This guy is a horrible pick. The worst part about it is that I think Barack Obama is laughing at the news media. I think he is laughing his black butt off. He is having a blast. You want to know why? Because you got to see this. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. In the morning, when Kamala Harris picks Tim Walz, Van Jones of CNN said this.
What worries me is you see a lot of relief from the conservatives. They were scared of Josh Shapiro. They were scared of a Mark Kelly. They thought that would help define Kamala more to the middle. You see a lot of rejoicing on the right. That's not good. Also, you've got some disquiet in the Jewish community. Some people had their hopes up. Maybe you're going to get another shot at a Jewish vice president. We haven't had that for 2 decades, and now that gets pulled away. Is it just because he's a moderate, or is there some anti-Jewish bias here? So the party is still digesting this. I think if you're a Muslim or a young Arab or someone who's concerned about Gaza, it gives you a reason to stay excited about Kamala, because that was going to be hard for the party to digest. So you've got a party now trying to figure out, is this good? Is this bad?
And then the Obama folks got to him, because later on that evening, Van Jones said this.
And you were not so sure about Walz. You were, you can tell me if I'm not characterizing your position this morning, right? I'm sure you will.
Who you waiting for?
Because there were Republicans who wanted Josh Shapiro.
The Republicans were
worried about Josh Shapiro.
The Republicans were scared of Josh Shapiro. Republicans were scared of Mark Kelly. They were not scared of Governor Walz, but they should be. They should be, because what you just saw at night was extraordinary. This was somebody I've heard from my most conservative friends and my most liberal friends, and even
perhaps Obama, perhaps him, perhaps your most liberal friend was Obama.
My radical friends, everybody's like, this guy's amazing because he talks like a normal person.
So Van Jones gets his mind right. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Tim Walz goes from, this isn't a great pick, to, oh, they should be afraid of him now. What, his record all of a sudden was going to change? Like everything Jesse Waters just said about the guy, everything I said about the guy miraculously changed because he gave a speech in Philadelphia. His record no longer matters because he's scary on stage to Republicans. And again, I know Obama is laughing his behind off. Listen to this supercut. This one's a great supercut from the Free Beacon. Listen to this.
Breaking news, Kamala Harris picks Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as running mate.
What does Walz bring to this?
He's cuddly.
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 Cuddly?
I think she went for maybe a little more of a cuddly choice.
Tell us more about the texture of the man. He seems to almost have a twinkle in his eye.
Tim Walz is the opposite of weird.
Tim Walz beats America.
He sounds like a football coach.
He is a hunter that you could visit with at the hardware store.
In a dictionary, if you had weird and anti-weird, you'd have Tim Walz's picture there.
I bet knows how to make a good hot dish casserole.
Very down to earth.
It's his authenticity.
Authentic communicator.
The word joy came up a lot.
He's joyful.
He seems happy.
A happy-go-lucky warrior.
And he's happy and a happy warrior.
The joyful warrior.
He is one happy warrior.
A happy warrior.
The happy warrior.
Nice guy.
Good guy.
A very nice person.
Get the idea? Now they know that this is about to implode. Everybody knows that this is going to implode in and of itself. Here's another one. Jeff Zeleny on CNN saying that this is what Tim Walz is going to do.
Something that he can do, talking to a variety of strategists, they believe because his football coach is more than a title. We're entering into football season. It is going toward Election Day, and they believe he can bring men back to the Democratic ticket.
Yeah, sure, Jeff. He'll be able to bring men back to the ticket. I'm sure it's what all the sex change and tampons in the boys' bathroom that's going to get the guys to go, hey, yeah, he's my guy. 860-522-WTIC. Chris is in Walcott. Hello, Chris. You're on with Reese on the Radio.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
I got a question for you. So I heard that this individual ended up getting a DUI charge for being twice over the legal limit.
Yes, he
and
had
resigned from being a teacher.
Yes. Well, I don't know about the resignation. I do know that he blew a 125. And the crazy part was he told the police officer that he wasn't drunk. He was deaf, and because of an injury he sustained in the military. And he then blew the 125. Yeah, exactly. So yes, that's it.
And I don't think he got an injury from boot camp.
No, he did not. No, he did not. And again, with the day before, I guess 6 months before his deployment, once he learned that his artillery was going to be going to Iraq, and he was the commanding officer, he abandoned them and quit 6 months before. And he said that the reason why he quit was to run for office. And then while he was running...
So he's a coward.
Yeah, I guess most people... And again, look, Chris, hear me exactly what you're hearing about this, right? With everything you're hearing. This guy does not sound like the right pick for any campaign with all of this baggage. Now, Josh Shapiro, for whatever you may think about him as being a moderate or on the left or whatever the case is, his biggest problem is this case where, as Attorney General, he ruled a death a suicide as opposed to a homicide. This woman who had died, there were 2 stab wounds in the back of her head or at her back where it was impossible, and it turns out that those stab wounds came post-mortem. And his office declared it a suicide when it clearly looked like a homicide. And her parents are suing, not for money, they are suing to have that ruling overturned to a murder. Now, that's the biggest baggage of Shapiro, with the exception of other... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I feel that the only reason why they didn't vote for Shapiro or they didn't pick Shapiro as VP was for the simple fact of the fact that they were going to lose the Muslim vote. And,
right.
And if, I mean, there's Jewish people that are never Trumpers and,
right.
whatever. So, they thought that they're okay there because, we're helping fund the war in Israel and, America's good. And, but if they picked him being a Jewish individual, they would have definitely lost the Muslim vote.
But see, I believe that Josh Shapiro is someone that they can push back to 2028. A lot of people have been like, I've been getting a little bit of like nudging from people going, oh, I don't think so. But this is my belief, Chris. And tell me if it's a scenario. I don't know if you've heard me say it before, but I'm just going to lay it out. I believe that Josh Shapiro, after watching his speech yesterday and pretty much seeing him everywhere else, I think that this guy's viable for 2028. You've got Gavin Newsom, and you've got there's one more person, Bashir and Gretchen Whitmer, right? So you've got a deep bench on the Democrat Party. I think because these guys are the future stars of the party, push them back to 2028, let those guys hash out. They are the new, they're the new wing of the Democrat Party. They're younger, they're cooler, whatever the case is. Save those people for later and allow what's her name, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to implode in this election. You finally get rid of them. You sort of like get rid of the old trash of the Democrat Party, the progressivism, because trust me, the progressivism is hurting them. Cori Bush just lost her seat last night. We got Jamal Bowman from the squad who lost his about a month or so ago. So the progressive wing of the Democrat Party, they need to get rid of. And this is an opportunity to do that so they can bring moderates like Shapiro into the fold in 28.
I still think the Obamas have something up their sleeve, too, not for nothing.
Oh, no. I believe that this is all an arrangement of them. Listen, look, here's what I'm telling everyone. If they really want Kamala Harris to win, and I'm asking everybody this, think from what you know about Kamala Harris, I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. Would you want Kamala Harris to be the titular head of the Democrat Party post an election? In other words, if Kamala Harris were to win the election, have 4 years, she would have more say of the direction of the Democrat Party post-election than Barack Obama. Who believes that they would leave the Democrat apparatus in her hands? Who believes it?
A lot of dumb people do.
But Barack Obama would never cede that ground. He's the de facto leader of the Democrat Party.
Well, correct. Oh, yeah, he's the head leader right now.
Exactly. So do you think he would give that to a Kamala Harris? Say again?
No. It said he's been the one pulling the puppet strings for Joey for the past, 3 years.
Exactly. Every one of his people, every one of his Obama acolytes, they infiltrated the Biden campaign. Anita Dunn was there. Everybody was there. Tom Vilsack came back from the Obama administration to be in the Joe Biden administration. Tom Vilsack.
Correct.
So it's like there were so many of those people who were pushed in. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate the call. Let's get into some traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, everyone. And if you are heading into Hartford right now, overall, a very easy ride so far this afternoon. If you are traveling southbound 91, look for delays 33 to 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tight up East Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound a little tight getting by 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound in Southbury, you got some slow traffic as you move between exit 15 and 16. And
hi, Cammie. Fritz the cat in the house. Michael B said, what men? The ones that identify as women. Exactly.
44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Gio, I think you're right. I think every kid needs a little bit of lead in them. Lord knows. I don't think all those kids got asthma from eating paint chips.
Mostly cloudy tomorrow, a little more than a brief shower to high 75. Tomorrow night, cloudy and increasingly humid with a couple of showers in the area and a low of 66. Very humid and mostly cloudy on Friday as tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches. We expect occasional rain, perhaps a thunderstorm in the afternoon when it will become breezy. High 79. Locally heavy showers and thunderstorms from tropical rainstorm Debbie Friday night. There could be flooding, power outages, and isolated tornadoes. Low Friday night, 71. Flooding still a concern early Saturday morning, but the rain will be ending. Some sunshine returning Saturday afternoon. Warmer, but turning less humid with a high of 85. Some sunshine, a pleasant Sunday, lower humidity, high 82. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut. From breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now. And now, a WTIC News Update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Vice President Harris
and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz are in the midst of their first campaign junket since she chose him to be her running mate, the two in key swing states of Wisconsin and Michigan. Vice presidential nominee for the Republicans, J.D. Vance, spent some time in Michigan before he, too, arrived in Wisconsin. Man's been arrested in connection with a fatal shooting at a Middletown hookah lounge parking lot last year. Chauncey Wilson of Hartford faces murder and conspiracy charges in the May 2023 shooting death of Jonathan Semede. Overnight shooting in West Haven has police there investigating. They say they got the call early this morning to a service station convenience store on Elm Street. Say it appears the victim was shot elsewhere, then went to the station for help. He's now in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. The family of a French explorer who died in a submersible implosion has filed a lawsuit of more than $50 million, saying the crew experienced terror and mental anguish before the disaster, causing the sub's operator, accusing that is, of gross negligence. That submersible imploded during a voyage to the Titanic wreck site in June of 2023. Top lawmakers from Connecticut, including State Health Commissioner Manisha Jutani, spent part of today talking about new lead-free campaign in Connecticut to reduce child access to lead products in buildings and water pipes. And state leaders turned out in New Britain today to offer tips on how not to get scammed by those so-called skimmers we've seen popping up in supermarkets and other stores over the last several months. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 234 points today. NASDAQ lost 171 and the S&P gave back 40. Red Sox baseball tonight. Sox will finish up a series in Kansas City against the Royals. 7:10 is the pregame here on TIC. After yesterday's rainout, the Yankees and the Angels are underway. A single admission doubleheader in the Bronx, and the Mets are in Colorado to take on the Rockies. Eastern League tonight, the Yard Goats in Richmond, 6:35 on the Odyssey app. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap.
Michael B., wouldn't it have been more appropriate if they sang "Don't Stand So Close to Me" by the Police? Or maybe "Down Under" with by Men at Work.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code BETTER and get 15% off your first purchase with code BETTER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER to save 15% today.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins.
1 minute.
These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077. Call
Yes,
now,
under
and you will
pressure.
receive a free
I was
bonus,
trying to think of one. You got a great
$75
one.
value free with every order. Call 973-3077 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-3077.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Boy, that Tupac really knew how to ruin a Bruce Hornsby and the Range record, didn't he?
You ain't like this song?
Listen to me. I grew up, I used to pack groceries at a Key Food store on 195th Street and Jamaica Avenue. And I loved Bruce Hornsby and the Range. That's
so
just
this
the
song
way it
pissed
is.
you off.
When Tupac came out with this song, I was like, what?
See no changes.
I could not stand what he did to. I was like, Are you kidding me? Bruce Hornsby, you allowed this? I'll tell you one thing. I love Sting. Like, I'm a big Police fan. So when I found out that when Puffy did Missing You and that record, I didn't realize that he didn't get permission to do that sample. And now I think he owes, in perpetuity, Puffy owes Sting like royalties to the tune of like $10,000 forever for that song. But I hate it when rappers take, P. Diddy was notorious for that, but taking records that were really, really, it's $7,000 per day. Damn. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, he owes him a lot. He should have just got it cleared.
Yeah, just got to get the sample cleared. But that thing, taking old records and turning them into these hip hop songs, always annoyed me because it lacked originality. You know, and I think one of the reasons why I like certain producers like Premier is the fact that he could chop up a record and turn it into something different. That's what sampling was all about. It's kind of why I like De La Soul and Prince Paul in the way he would take these sort of elements and add them to the songs. But just blatant rip-off of a record is just a loop, because that's actually Bruce Hornsby and The Range. That's just the way it is. And it's a great song.
I don't know, man. This song was pretty good, too.
Yeah, I was one of
the... It became a smash.
Yeah, it was a big record. Yes, I understand that, but I love Bruce Hornsby. Just forever, he will always be.
Got Ryan Fazio,
there
so
you go.
We're going to take him for the full 37 after the traffic?
Yeah, we'll take him afterwards. Super Freak is another one for Can't Touch This. Cannot stand that song, Can't Touch This. Can't stand it.
I love that song.
No,
man.
I believe that my stint in hell is going to be Can't Touch This on repeat. And Satan is going to make me do the hammer dance forever.
You better get to practicing.
That's what I think is going to happen. I can't stand that song. And the other one, the When Doves Cry remix, That's Why We Pray. Oh, that's Hammer's whole album is ripping off other people's classics.
He made a killing.
Yeah, he made a killing and then he went bankrupt. Good on him. No, I'm kidding.
Can't take care of 100 people, man.
No, you can't. Obviously, you can't. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend Mark Christopher. I know he probably loved every one of those songs I just mentioned from Super Freak. Well, Can't Touch This. Please don't tell me you like that song, Mark.
No.
Thank God.
I like the Rick James version.
Yes.
Of Super Freak, but I didn't like Can't Touch This.
Yeah, I just no. Just can't. Just
Eversource used that. I don't know if it was Eversource or CLMP used that for their commercials.
Did they?
You know, yeah. So like there was a big storm and you saw a wire down. They had MC Hammer going, "Can't touch this."
Oh no.
It was spectacular.
They used that in their commercials for many years. And of course, MC Hammer was a ball boy, a bat boy for the Oakland A's for a long time when he was a kid. So
this is the reason.
Charmed life.
This is the reason why you should never promote people from that position.
Yeah, just keep them as bat boys
forever.
But I agree. Yeah, I'm not a real fan of that jacking that Rick song
thank
for
you.
his song.
That's it. Stop jacking original classics and
everything
turning them into
it was jacked.
Whatever.
Well, that song, and "Give It to Me, Baby," and "Cold Blooded."
Oh, I love Cold Blooded.
Cold Blooded is such a great song.
Such a great song.
Oh my God. I want to play it right now. But yeah, Rick James, a legend. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, things are looking good. If you are on the southbound side of I-91, you'll see some.
Did he get the times confused?
W.Y. Clark Company.
I think so.
Southbound 91 slow.
Maybe he thought it was 437, not 407.
Tied up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford into the. We're on right around exit 47 Sigourney. Eastbound 84.
Nope, I put in 4 p.m.
Capitol Avenue 291.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Eastbound moving well, Glastonbury and
That's
Marlboro.
okay, because we'll put
northbound is slowing.
Joe and Simsbury
after
after
the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Southbury, you got some slow traffic.
Well, Joe can't get in anyway. The lines are full.
Are they?
17 to 18 in Waterbury. Westbound 84 is a little tight. Cheshire into Waterbury, 26 to 25A. If you're heading into New Haven, 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
W.I. Clark. Call us or find us online at WIClark.com.
W.I. Clark provides superior equipment, parts, and service to the construction and landscape industry across Connecticut. We represent great brands like John Deere, Wirtgen, and Leeboy, and our employees have been the key ingredient behind our success since 1925. Online at WIClark.com.
WTIC weather.
Mostly cloudy the rest of the afternoon. A little sun north of Hartford. Today's high 69 to 73. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 59. Looking at mostly cloudy weather tomorrow. Can't let a shower, high 75. A couple of showers then moving into the area tomorrow night, low 66. Quite humid on Friday. Occasional rain, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, high 79. And showers and potentially heavy thunderstorms Friday night from tropical rainstorm Debbie. Low Friday night, 71. It's currently 71 in Enfield, and 64 in Torrington, and 68 degrees in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the Gold.com award-winning Computer Talk with Tab. Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on WTIC News Talk 1080. Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in from anywhere via the Odyssey app. Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What if I told
1 minute.
movies
So
are
Ryan is on,
already
right?
past their prime?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay, let's
The
go to him
magnetic
then.
tape used
It would have been better if he would have did the last one, because then you have
I know. I'm
time to talk to all these other
I
folks.
just
Weddings
got to tell them
and
to hold
family
on.
Vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/value.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
Shame on you. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I think it's appropriate to play Shame on You. Because we got to figure out what's going on with Eversource and state legislature on the phone with us. Unfortunately, what a half an hour late? It's all right. He's here anyway. We'll just we'll abuse him for his lateness. Friend to the room, none other than State Senator Ryan Fazio is in the house. Hello, sir. How are you?
Reese, please forgive me for my tardiness. I shouldn't do that to the man who is now one of the most popular people in the state of Connecticut.
Oh, stop it. Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm almost there. Okay? Just remember, right, so that we're staying in tune with the way that we are, right? It's the black guy who's usually late, okay? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Listen, Ryan, we got a problem, and I think you've been addressing it. I saw your Twitter post or X post about this. You've got legislation that you want to get passed to put an end to what's happening in Eversource, and that is this crazy charge, this public benefit charge that people in Connecticut are being charged without their knowledge. And what I mean by without their knowledge is the fact that where these charges, what they're being charged for. If I can you explain to me what systems benefit charges are conservation and load management charge and renewable charges are? What is this that people are paying for?
It's fancy terms for a hidden tax to fund discretionary government programs that aren't exactly delivering electricity to your household or generating it. So I would say the correct verbiage could be a tax for government programs. Now, why is this in your electricity bill and not in your taxes and the budget? Well, because in this state, it seems like the people who have been in charge want to find a way to tax you every which way, and they get very creative.
But Ryan, I think this is much more nefarious than that. Because in Joe in New Hampshire, who's, this guy is always on top of everything going on in Connecticut. I love going to him. He calls in and he gives me all the information whenever I need it. He's like a great backup. But I pretty much express this as this sounds like the charging Connecticut consumers for the Green New Deal or something similar to it in Connecticut. What they're paying for is electricity. For this sort of misguided Green New Deal effort to fund other programs for in other words, that money is going to be used for renewables or renewable energy that people will either never see or they will never come to fruition. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I actually think that that's probably a more creative and evocative way of saying it, because it's about 15 different government programs. I actually have this the spreadsheet up right in front of me from a couple years ago when I first started looking at this, when I first joined the Energy Committee. It's like 15 different government programs, and they've been passed piecemeal over 10 or 15 years. So you basically have a, mini Green New Deal, a Green New Deal of sorts in your energy bills. And it wasn't passed, in one slug, because that would have been very controversial. It was passed slowly and incrementally over the course of 10 or 15 years, to the point that now, 10, 15 plus % of your electricity bill in a normal month, it does oscillate. It goes, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, is for this sort of government bureaucracy. That's aimed at kind of remaking the energy industry in Connecticut. So that's kind of the best explanation, probably, of a complex thing that's going on. It's a hidden tax to pay for all these different government programs that some might want to call a Green New Deal of sorts.
Can we? And we're on the phone with Ryan Fazio, state senator of the 36th district. Answer this for me. Is it possible that you could get out at least a spreadsheet that people can see, maybe put it on your website or put it on, the state's website, anything where people can see how much money has been collected by this hidden tax and what they've been using that money for? Now, hear me out. There's a reason why I'm asking this, okay? Because this would put legislators on notice, because in essence, what they're getting robbed blindly without their knowledge for programs they probably know nothing about, because it's hidden little fees here and there. This particular program is collecting money over you said the last 10 to 20 years. It's probably got I don't know what they're using the money for, but I'm assuming they have a windfall in tax dollars inside the coffers of these programs. Is there a way that we can, 1, find out where the money went to, 2, how much money are in those programs, 3, what the money's being used for? Is there a way to get to that bottom line and then make legislators answer for it?
Well, yes. I actually, after we do this, I can just post a screenshot of the Excel spreadsheet. It's not a long one, because it's really just the 15 line items from what's in that public benefits charge. Now, this is a couple of years old, but it's hundreds of millions of dollars.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about it. If there's 1.5 million electricity customers and, 15% of their bill in a normal month is due to this stuff, you just multiply it out, and, it's hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe $300 million. $400 million across UI and Eversource customers.
And this is
a lot of freaking money.
Now, this is the state. Now, the state has this money. It's theirs, right? Because they've taxed it. They have it. Is there a way to find out if that money is being used for anything or if it's financing something else? Like, is it being used for pensions? Is it being used? You know how the bait and switch goes, right? We use it for this, and since we have it, we'll apply it to that because we can, because it's in our coffers. Is there a way that we could get to that?
Yeah, I was just having that discussion the other day. I think a few budgets ago, there was a sweep. They took some of the monies that goes to the electricity bill in the public benefits charge, and they did use it to fund something else. But that was passed through the budget, and that was actually legislated.
Okay.
So it's an open question to me. My focus has been for 2 years now, and I'm really glad that, a lot we're talking about it now. But for 2 years, my goal and my proposal, and a lot of Republican legislators have joined me on this, is to move most of the public benefits kind of programs, monies, out of your electricity bill. Simply, you should not be forced to be paying this hidden tax through your electricity bill. And if some of these programs need to be funded, if we judge as a democracy in this state that these things need to be funded, they should be funded the normal way that government programs are.
Exactly.
They compete against other government programs every 2 years when we set a budget, whether it's education programs or health programs or safety or transportation. They go through the normal budget process, and they're funded through the tax revenue. But there shouldn't be an added tax, a new budget that's kind of out of sight in our electricity bills that accounts for hundreds of millions of dollars of government programs.
Who's responsible for this money sitting there, or pretty much? I know it's the legislature, but can we force the governor's hand to, one, be completely transparent about the money that's been accumulated, and since it is a government program that no one has asked for, even in essence, I know it's been legislated through, but it's sort of secretly being done because it's these small incremental things. But is there a way that we can get people to say, all right, we're not going to do this to citizens anymore? And if that's not going to work, I've got a suggestion if you're interested.
Listen, in the end of the day, there are people who voted for these programs. And
okay.
We put forth a proposal to move these programs out of your electricity bill this just a couple months ago, and it was voted down on party lines. The crude truth of the matter is that in November, we have a choice of who to send to Hartford to represent us. And
right.
They should be asked, are they going to make your electricity bills more expensive or less expensive, and how? What is your position on the public benefits charges, the hidden tax in your electricity bill? Are you going to reduce it? Are you going to eliminate it? Or are you going to keep it and potentially increase it? That is ultimately going to be determined at the ballot box this November 5th.
Is everyone being hit with the public benefit charge?
The only people who aren't are people who are served by a municipal public utility. So Wallingford Electric, for instance,
okay.
The public utility, municipal utility. The public utilities don't pay it. So it's funny because some of our Democratic colleagues extol the virtues of a public utility, municipal-owned utility. Well, yeah, they're not paying the same charges.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, hear me out, Ryan. There's a reason why I'm asking. Is every citizen, no matter what their demographic, no matter what their pay scale is, no matter what their social economic background is, are they all being hit with a public benefit charge, no matter what?
Almost everyone in the state is being hit by this, yes.
Okay. Now, if almost everyone is, and again, this is always my proposal. I've said this to you guys before. I said it to Senator Kelly before. There's only one thing that will change the atmosphere inside Hartford, inside the halls of any Congress for that matter, is that you've got to get the people who are most vulnerable involved. And that is, we've got to get the inner city involved. They've got to know that they are secretly being taxed for stuff that they didn't ask for. And the people who are doing it are the people that they elected. Now, we know this state is overrun by Democrats. We know that that's always the case. You guys are always the minority here. It's very seldom where you guys get anything you want pushed legislatively. But this stuff is happening because people in Hartford, or in that matter, the state, is voting for it, and they're voting on that side of the aisle. So they, in essence, are being abused by those people who they elect. But if you had them know that they voted to actually charge you this money for stuff that you're never going to see or never benefit from, so they can pretty much just load up their coffers, people will respond to that. The word has to get out to those people. I say this all the time. As soon as I started talking about this electric car thing with the folks over at our sister station, at the hip hop station, all of a sudden people started changing their mind. They were going, okay, now the people in the inner city are going to know about it. We got to back off. And that happened. That's what's got to happen as far as Republicans are concerned. We have to reach out to the other side.
I think that's exactly right. And we can't be afraid to talk to anyone. I mean, we have to bring our message to everybody, because our message is one that I think appeals to almost everyone. Lower cost of living, lower electricity bills.
Yeah.
Who's harmed most by these things? People on lower incomes. It's a regressive tax. It's a higher percentage of their income that they take home. If you're on a fixed income, if you're a senior, you're hit really hard by this.
Yeah, and they
know
know it.
Lower income or middle income, you're hit really hard by this. If you're in a blue collar industry, your wages aren't going to go up by as much because they're more reliant on energy costs. I mean, this is hurting the people who need the help the most. And so we got to spread the message to everyone, as you say exactly.
Listen, I propose you guys get in touch with all of the program directors at all of the other stations and just say, hey, I need your audience to know if you've been hit by this public benefit charge, we need to explain to you why it's happening, and we need your help to get it off your bill. You don't want to pay this extra money. It's not helping you. Some people are being billed into homelessness because of it. And $75 can make or break somebody in the inner city or somebody on a fixed income. $75 can do that. And you have to push them to say, hey, man, as soon as they realize, they already believe this. Look, Ryan, I know this. Everybody in those demographic groups already think that the government is screwing them over. Now we need to show them, hey, not only are they screwing you over, here's how. And we need to reach out to those places. TIC is a great place to go, but we've got to go to those other stations where we know most of them are listening. Most of them are involved in, I guess politically in a small way, but sort of getting their information from. Reach out to those people and say, hey, I need to reach your audience and let them know they're being robbed by their government, the people that they're voting for. Put them on notice and say, get rid of this tax.
That's right. And the people who decide what the course of our government is, that the future, the elections, are the people who probably aren't listening to political shows or watching political shows or following political media regularly. They're the people who probably don't like politics, and I can't always blame them, but they're affected by it, and they know when they're being ripped off, and they're being ripped off here in this state so often. And so if we can get the message to them, as you say exactly, it's going to accrue to everyone's benefit.
And trust me, they will respond. I know this every time. If the word gets out that they're hurting the people they claim to be supporting and claim to be doing the most work for, if they recognize it, they'll respond in kind. I promise you that. Ryan Fazio, folks, state senator of the 36th district. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Reese.
All right, not a problem. It was off the fly. I had some other stuff I wanted to get into, but we can't. Anyway, let's get to the PPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. If you're heading southbound 91 into Hartford, look for some delays on 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, you'll see some slow traffic down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Now, once you move into Meriden, it looks like we have an accident now on the right shoulder between exit 18 and 17 in Meriden. It looks like right shoulder, maybe a little bit of the right lane taken out there. Delays approaching 19 in Meriden down to the accident scene. Northbound 91, easy ride, Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing in East Hartford, approaching the Bothie Bridge to
Yes, I will be there this year, Fritz.
He's approaching 46 into the tunnel. 291, 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. Heading into Middletown, 9 northbound slowing at the Aragoni Bridge. If you're heading toward Waterbury right now, westbound side of 84 slows in Cheshire, 26 up to 25A. And if you're traveling 95 southbound New Haven, you've got delays 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
If you or a loved one has been the victim of medical malpractice, know that you are not alone. Call 1-800-HAYMOND and they will get you the answers and advice you deserve. Attorney John Haymond is your legal authority in medical malpractice. Call 1-800-HAYMOND.
WTIC
Cloudy the rest of today.
Did everybody hold or did they leave?
Shower, low 73. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 59. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, brief shower, 2 high 75. Becoming humid tomorrow night. A couple of showers, low 66. Humid on Friday. Periods of rain to perhaps a thunderstorm. As tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches, it'll become breezy in the afternoon, high 79. Showers and thunderstorms from tropical rainstorm Debbie Friday night, low 71. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
5 o'clock, 68 degrees, cloudy skies in Hartford. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. State and industry officials say they're trying to get ahead of card skimming devices being placed on ATMs and store transaction pads across Connecticut. Thieves use the devices to steal critical card data and PIN codes. Connecticut Food Association says supermarkets are checking their devices each day, catching more than a dozen skimmers over the past few weeks. Among the cards being targeted, EBT cards containing federal food benefits. Governor Lamont says that's an especially precarious kind of crime.
You know, folks who really need their SNAP benefits to take care of a kid who needs a meal. And imagine if you go to the Stop and Shop here and you find, oh my God, somebody's stolen all my SNAP value and I can't get the groceries I promised my child.
Now, they say cardholders, especially EBT cardholders, should change PIN numbers often. Generally, ATM users should check the device to make sure there's nothing off about it. Shield your PIN code, use Tap to Pay if possible, and use ATM machines, which are at your banks rather than at convenience stores. Breaking news out of Austria, where 2 men have been arrested in Vienna for allegedly planning extremist attacks on major events there, including several Taylor Swift concerts. Correspondent Stacey Lynn has that.
At a news conference, Vienna State Police said both men had become radicalized online, and one of them was a 19-year-old who allegedly pledged his allegiance to ISIS. They said they found very detailed plans on how the attack would be carried out, and that some sort of chemical substances were also recovered. Swift had concerts scheduled tomorrow through Saturday that were expected to draw over 65,000 concert goers per day, but they have now been canceled. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Campaign trail heating up. The Democratic presidential tickets in the battleground state of Wisconsin.
Harris will also here in western Wisconsin later today. J.D. Vance will also be here as he follows them around the country. Our latest CBS News poll gives Trump a 1-point edge over Harris here in the Badger State. A good reminder that this is one of those states that's going to get significant time and attention from both campaigns.
Correspondent Ed O'Keefe on the campaign trail. Harris and Walz held a rally earlier this afternoon, and Senator Vance was also in Wisconsin right around the same time. Connecticut's spending $20 million in federal COVID relief money to push a new lead-free initiative. The goal is to remove lead-based products from being accessible to children. Remediation would happen in buildings like schools. A second phase would remove lead from water pipelines. Connecticut Children's Healthy Homes team is supporting the effort. Its coordinator is Chris Corcoran.
Connecticut Children's is focused on making homes safe and healthy for kids.
Everybody's still on hold, or did they all bounce?
Thrive, that they get the best.
Nah, they've been bounced.
And that they get to build to their full potential.
Democratic South Windsor State Senator Dr. Saud Anwar points out that the body perceives lead.
I don't like when an interview takes me off my game.
Instead of as a toxin. Report abuse.
I don't like it when an interview takes me off my game.
Leading the call.
That was a good interview.
Yeah, I wanted it
and
better.
accountability. Working correspondent.
That's okay.
Linda
I like the
White
fact
House
that I
Press
kicked my
Secretary
own
Karine
butt.
Jean-Pierre is echoing the reaction of the State Department.
The reports of rape, torture, and abuse are deeply, deeply concerning, and we have been clear and consistent with Israel that it must treat all detainees humanely and with dignity in accordance with international law.
Jean-Pierre says the U.S. supports an investigation by the Israeli military. Freed Palestinian prisoners have made regular allegations of abuses while in custody, which Israeli authorities have denied. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
And now this report from the Summer Games, sponsored by Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care.
CBS Summer Games. Here's Wendy Gillette.
Sprinting star Noah Lyles advanced to tomorrow's 200-meter final as he guns for a double victory in the 100 and 200. It's a gold for the Americans and women's cycling team pursuit over New Zealand. In skateboarding, Team USA's Tom Schaar took the silver in the men's park final. And an American man won a medal in weightlifting for the first time in 4 decades. Georgia's Hampton Morris got bronze in the 61 kilogram. The U.S. men's volleyball team had a devastating loss at the hands of Poland in the semifinals. The team has not won gold since Beijing in 2008 and won't in Paris, thanks to a tight loss in 5 sets. Kevin Durant netted himself a record in last night's U.S. men's basketball team win over Brazil in the quarterfinals. He scored 11 points to become Team USA's leading scorer in Olympic competition with 494 points. The U.S. men play Serbia tomorrow in the semifinals. I'm Wendy Gillette at the Summer Games in Paris, CBS News.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
WTIC News, time 5:05. The day on Wall Street's down. Dow lost 234 points, NASDAQ 171, S&P off 40 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm an elder law.
1 minute.
Got it. Greatest reward.
Are you doing 5 o'clock focus today or no?
No,
Because
that just
I'm
screwed
Kate
everything
from Farmington.
All right.
Called Alair Elder Law. I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, but I knew I needed help. Alair Elder Law helped me find my way. My husband had a stroke a year ago, and we worked hard to bring him home. I worried about what would happen if either of us had another medical emergency. Alair Elder Law worked with us to develop a plan that will keep my husband safe at home while protecting our assets. What surprised me most was that I didn't just work with a
Coming right in after the drop.
Got it.
When it got on 30 seconds.
Charlotte helped me rewrite my will to protect my husband. Amanda helped me gather materials and navigate the Medicaid application. Heather came to our home to meet us, understand our needs, and connect us with a healthcare agency. I'm grateful for the team at Alair Elder Law.
Find out more at alairelderlaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Coming up on the traffic report in the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher soon enough. But you have to read this article in the Gateway Pundit. It is probably in the top fold. Bloomberg News caught covering up Tim Walz's stolen valor. They were caught doing a stealth edit that they didn't think anyone was going to pay attention to. And the person who wrote the article is Bloomberg's Josh Green. And he's not responded to requests for an interview or a response while he's been busted stealth editing Tim Walz's stolen valor story. It's absolutely incredible what's going on. Also on the Gateway Pundit, if you haven't checked it out, and I think it's the most amazing story, is this streamer who has nearly 30 million total followers, who's being called by the Secret Service, begging him to do an interview with Kamala Harris. And he's like, I don't give a damn about politics. He's not interested. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Oh, it takes all kinds, huh?
It certainly does. She's just going to giggle. What's the point?
I don't understand it. You're doing a campaign speech. How are you doing a campaign speech at a concert and then calling that your crowd? I don't get it. It's like, just hold a rally. You don't have to do the whole bait and switch. I don't get it. I don't.
The egos are so big.
Oh, yeah,
on both sides.
That's true.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, you're seeing some delays on the eastbound side of 84, about a half mile before 46th Avenue up into the tunnel. Westbound side of 84 slowing both the bridge into the tunnel. 91 southbound a little tight at 32A and B. And again, some slow traffic by exit 28. We have an accident 91 southbound in Meriden between 18 and 17. Looks like right lane, right shoulder. Delays are almost back to exit 20 Country Club Road behind that. If you are traveling into Waterbury, westbound 84 a little tight on the Mixmaster. If you're traveling into New Haven, southbound 95, you got delays 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Mostly cloudy tonight, a low of 59. And mostly cloudy tomorrow. There could be a shower, high 75. Humid tomorrow night. A couple of showers, low 66. Then humid on Friday with occasional rain, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, but it'll become breezy in the afternoon as tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches, high 79. And then breezy and humid Friday night. Showers and thunderstorms from tropical rainstorm Debbie. The rains could be heavy. That could lead to flooding issues. There's concern that any storm could become severe. Low Friday night, 71. It's currently 67 in Canton. It's 72 degrees in Windsor Locks and 69 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
What could be better than two of your favorites for $3.99? Like a McDouble, a McChicken, or a 6-piece McNuggets? Stop in for twice the delicious.
Price of participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Save with summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get the tools and parts you need for your next brake job with Brake Best Select. Select Pro and Import Direct brake pads and rotors now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
It's summer in Britain, and the crimes are just getting started.
I found another body.
Stream the best of British crime drama, only on BritBox. Don't miss new seasons of acclaimed series like Blue Lights, which Time Out calls Belfast's answer to The Wire. And The Responder, starring Martin Freeman in his international Emmy award-winning role.
I can feel it. I'm going to crack.
Stream the best of British crime drama on BritBox.
You know, this is why I want to be a detective.
Watch with a free trial today.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. 1 minute. Every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
One of my favorite tracks, Let's Ride, Q-Tip, Amplified album. I think it's the third video. Love this beat. Reese on the radio, as the big boy said. Let's get straight to the phones. I know we didn't do 5 o'clock focus today, folks. Don't worry about it. That's because we had the guests and I got jumbled. And don't worry, we'll make up for it tomorrow. I promise. Let's go to a good friend who hasn't been here in a while. Mr. Frank is in Woodbridge. There it is.
How you doing, Reese?
Hey, Frankie, baby, how you doing?
I tell you, these hidden taxes. What is the difference between politics and organized crime? Nothing.
I believe what's happening here, and I think I told you this story before. When I was working for U-Haul and the county wanted if somebody wanted to be a U-Haul dealer, the county would tell them, give me $16,000, the application fee. If we deny you, you don't get that money back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what? Like the county could do, like the government has this ability, like $16,000 for you to possibly tell me no? What?
Yeah, well, you should see what we dealt with 50 years ago. We didn't have we had a guy come see us every month. Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Wanting that mafia tax. And we had to pay him.
Well,
and it didn't matter what the business was. If
what?
It was legal or illegal. And
What?
If you didn't pay it, we had to pay it.
What do you think of my ideas? I said to Ryan that, look, talking about it on WTIC is great, but I know this conversation is not happening in the place where it affects them the most. Look, you, maybe me, maybe even some others here who listen to WTIC can afford that hidden tax, as it were, even though it annoys us, and it may be, it may be wrong for it to happen, and we may, moan about it. But in order for the legislature to get their message across, guys like Ryan Fazio, they've got to reach out to places they normally don't get interviewed. And that is our sister station, and say, hey, listen, I'd like to come on the air and talk to your audience about how they're being robbed by their local government in these hidden taxes.
Right, but But if you look at all the people in Connecticut that are on DSS, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Department of, are those people getting robbed? I hear people get their UI bills paid for. They get their gas bills paid for. They get their rents paid for.
Yeah, but not all of them are. A lot of those people are hardworking stiffs, man. A lot of them are seeing that bill and they're going like, "What is this?" And some people don't believe that they can fight City Hall on this. They may moan about it, they may be ticked off about it, but they don't know, what can I do about it? Can I refuse to pay? No, I'm going to get my electricity cut off. So they find a way to pay it.
Right, but there's so many free programs out there. I was talking about, one day all these, with the government, with the debt we have, all these programs are either going to have to be cut or eliminated, and then we're going to have riots in the street. That's when all hell's going to break out.
Yeah,
because we don't have any more money.
I know. But like I said, I don't think it should come to that. I think that we should stop having a government that responds to the idea that people are there's going to be anarchy. There's a way to reach these. And I'm sorry, Senator Kelly, Ryan Fazio, they've got to, I don't want to accuse them of being afraid, but they've got to stop hedging on reaching out to those places that normally don't have conversations with legislature. So what?
Yeah, they got to get in those neighborhoods.
Yes.
They weren't in those right. I was born there.
Yeah.
For me to go there, it's no big deal. For them to go there, it's a different.
But they've got to listen. That's the problem is that they've got to be there, right? Look, if it's other, listen, it's lip service any other way, because those are the ones. Those guys are going to be the deciding factor on whether or not this is going to happen over and over again. There are people in the legislature on the Democrat side who know Republicans will never go to East Hartford. They know they'll never go to parts of West Hartford. They know they won't go to some of those areas because they're scared to death, or they don't even know how to approach those communities.
Now, they're scared to death. You and I could go in those neighborhoods. We were born there.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Sicily, but I've been familiar. Those neighborhoods are familiar to me. I'm not afraid to go. I know half of the people there. But when you go into these minority neighborhoods and you're white and you don't know anybody, they're scared. They won't admit it.
But even if that's the case, they've got to start a campaign. Look, start slowly. Right? They need to join some of these groups that saying, hey, listen, do you care about how you're being taxed? You make this amount of money. You're under the poverty line. You want to stop paying all of this? Well, this is what your legislature's doing behind your back. And you got to talk to them. Otherwise,
they have to interact.
They got to interact.
Many times you talked about prejudice. One of the problems of why people are prejudiced, one word.
Fear. Yep, 100.
Because if you don't know somebody, you fear them.
That's right.
That's why you have to interact with other people. I've been telling people this. This is why I'm not afraid of anybody, because I grew up in those neighborhoods. I know them.
I know.
If you don't know them, you've never seen them. We have white people in this country in the year 2024. Amazingly, don't know any black people. How is that possible?
I know. Again, it baffles me primarily because I think that people have been led to believe that why go on the other side of the street? It's only going to get you pain.
Because
and
there's something on the other side of the street. You should see. That's why you go on the other side of the street. There's a lot of beauty on the other side of the street.
Well, I knew you were going to go there, but I got to get to another.
Beauty.
I got to get to another call, Frank. I know it wouldn't be a phone call without you talking about the beautiful black woman. I haven't been with one since the Reagan administration, but that's another story. Let's go to James in Windsor. James, what's up, big guy?
Hey, big guy. My brother from another mother. How are you today?
I'm pretty good, sir. Long time no talk to. How are you, sir?
Hey, Frank was on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Harlem, right?
Yeah.
As a kid, right?
Yeah.
8, 9 years old, okay? Only black and Puerto Ricans because they were on the east side.
Yeah.
We were on the west side. Okay? Now, Harlem has been very different recently.
Oh, yeah. Very
And
gentrified now.
Sorry?
It's very gentrified now.
But better, not worse.
Right.
Because I was comfortable for where I was. But when it became unified,
Mhm.
it was better.
I think so too.
I always thought it was better because it was black and Puerto Rican.
And then other people started coming in, and all of a sudden you realized that your horizons were broadened.
Well, we saw it when they had like the tourist buses with the white people on the top.
Now you're talking. I remember that. Listen to me. You bringing it up, James. You're bringing up something that I remember instinctively in Harlem. I tell this story all the time. People love it. My brother and I walking on 125th Street, and this young white kid comes right in between us and knocks it. Like, he literally spins me around, but he's running so fast. I mean, he just bumps my shoulder. We weren't that close to each other. They didn't like purposely run through us. But as he's running, he ends up hitting me with his backpack, and he runs ahead. We look behind us because we're thinking he's being chased by thugs. But when we look and we see him, it's like, what's that white guy running for? It turns out it was the bus. And we're sitting
but that was during the daytime when they had the tour buses.
I saw people with laptops out on 125th Street at boat. What do you call it? Those little restaurants outside, little outside boutiques or whatever it was, sitting with their laptops, plain as day, nobody bothering them at nighttime. There are so many different people in the area, from India, from Pakistan, people from Idaho, people from Duluth. Everybody's in Harlem now. Harlem looks like the melting pot New York. The melting pot everyone thinks that New York is. This is actually happening in Harlem.
But that was during the daytime. When I was a kid, they were on buses passing through like a tourist guide. Okay, so we used to like holler at them like seals. We used to play with them. But then again, when they were passing through, now they're there.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Oh no, I think it's a great thing. I think it ups the property. No, it's a great thing because it ups the property value. People have a sense of pride in their community. It doesn't look dirty. There's less crime. Those are the beauties. In fact, it's funny because I barely hear about crime in Harlem in the way that I used to in the 80s and in the 90s. James, let me move on. I got to get to John in the car. I got to get to everybody before I get out of here, man. Always good talking to you. John, what's going on, sir? You want me to Reese on the radio?
Hey, hi. How you doing, Reese?
Pretty good,
I heard on Tom's show yesterday that apparently the people that couldn't afford electricity when the state made a rule saying they couldn't shut their electric power off, they were given it at the time free.
Yeah.
And then after the pandemic was over, the people that could afford to pay their electric bills and did diligently that we've been thrown into the same pool, that we're paying higher rates. And I think that the state should look at that, because I don't mind helping people out, but paying this green tax and all this stuff, it's getting insurmountable.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a fascinating talk show. You've got so many callers calling up, but how the heck do you curb this when your government doesn't tell you about this new tax and that sort of thing?
And that's the interesting part about it.
And we've had like solar companies come and knocking on our doors one after the other saying, if you don't get this solar power, it may be gone. The company might have so many customers. I said, we'll just wait a while,
Yeah.
You see, but it seems like the state's in cahoots with these solar companies, and I just don't trust anybody anymore.
And you shouldn't trust them. Listen, this is the interesting part about this, John. You shouldn't trust them, because what's happening, the crazy part about all of this is that they know that they know that the American people, in this case, they know that Connecticut does not want to pay for this Green New Deal. They know they won't. That's the reason why they had to do it incrementally behind their backs, because they know they wouldn't have done it willingly. And now that we know, now that everyone knows what the money is being used for, and as Ryan Fazio said, hundreds of millions of dollars have been collected, which again baffles me that this is happening. This is a straight up fleecing of nutmeggers. This is flat out robbing them. And there's no...
But the government's involvement with the private industry.
Exactly.
So EverSource is doing this to us, and the government knows what they're doing.
Exactly. And EverSource is out here saying, look, we've got nothing to do with that. That's the state legislature. But in my view, they're using EverSource to get the money. They're telling EverSource, in essence, is the Shylock here, if you think about it.
And they're telling the inner city people, now we want repayment because we gave it to you for free. And on top of that, they're paying for this green tax also.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, some families can be affected by $75. That's abusing the needy.
Exactly.
The state puts on that it's such a great contributor to child education, all that stuff. And then it turns around and it doesn't want to be a part of this Green Act, and yet they're in cahoots with EverSource, and we're paying for it.
And the bottom line is, John, all you need to know is if it's such a great idea, they don't have to do it in the cover of darkness, right? If it's a good deal, they don't have to hide it from people. But they're hiding people from it. The fact that EverSource EverSource is actually getting the money and then giving it to the state. But nonetheless, EverSource is in cahoots with the state. Right now, they're throwing the government under the bus. And when you have Ned Lamont hearing this and having no answers for it, not even talking to the legislature and going, look, what we're doing to the citizens of this state is unheard of, and no one's even stepped up to say we need to they should have put an end to this as soon as people started complaining. This isn't fair. Now that we know it's hundreds of millions of dollars, this has got to be stopped yesterday.
Yeah. And one of the persons under his committee, the Energy Commissioner or something like that, just resigned probably because of this dude thing. He's picking another guy that's going to run it.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's tying in now. It's like bits and fragments until you got to put it all together, a puzzle. And I keep up on the news and that, but it's hard to get the truth now. It's hard to understand what the truth is. Election-wise, everything-wise, I don't trust the Dems. I don't trust the Republicans. I don't trust anybody.
I don't exactly, and neither should, nor you should.
Because this used to be a pretty damn good country, and as far as I'm concerned, I think that doesn't matter. You vote for Kamala, we'll have socialism. You vote for Trump, we'll have a dictatorship. It's a shame that we don't have better candidates.
We do. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we will have better candidates. But again, like I said, the bottom line is that on this issue, what we need to do is to hold legislature accountable and tell them, look, you're robbing people. What's happening now?
You got some idiot legislatures that plan on taxing inner city people for not voting. It was just an idea. Is this the best we can do?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher, and then we'll be back. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Reese. Thank you very much. If you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, you're going to see some slow traffic as you move into downtown Hartford by 32A and B. And again, you'll see some more slow traffic, 27 down to 28. Another minor slowdown by exit 20 Country Club Road in Middletown. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up East Hartford approaching the Boat Clear Bridge of 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slows about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 looking good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. Waterbury's okay, 84 to 8. 84 eastbound. Danbury slowing by 3. If you're traveling south 95 into New Haven, delays 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell & Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC. Stay cloudy and cool for the rest of today. Despite the thick cloud cover, a little more than a passing shower, a few sprinkles of rain, a high of 73. Mainly cloudy and cool tonight, low 59. Again, mostly cloudy tomorrow, a little more than a brief shower or two, high 75. Tomorrow night, cloudy and increasingly humid with a couple of showers in the area and a low of 66. Very humid and mostly cloudy on Friday as tropical rainstorm.
UVIX, Michael B. UVIX is the stock, sir.
79. Locally heavy showers and thunderstorms from tropical rainstorm Debbie Friday night. There could be flooding, power outages, and isolated tornadoes. Low Friday night, 71. Flooding still a concern early Saturday morning, but the rain will be ending. Some sunshine returning Saturday afternoon. Warmer, but turning less humid with a high of 85. Some sunshine, a pleasant Sunday, lower humidity, high 82. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. Middletown police made an arrest in a shooting from last year. Chauncey Wilson of Hartford facing charges in connection with a fatal shooting of Jonathan Semede in the parking lot of the Hookah Lounge on Main Street back in May of 2023. 4 others are facing charges ranging from murder to conspiracy. In West Haven, a man's recovering after being shot overnight. Happened on Elm Street, made his way to a gas station from where police were called. Detectives say that person's in the hospital with arm and leg injuries that are not considered life-threatening. State officials were in New Britain today to address the issue of skimming in Connecticut. In recent weeks, there have been a number of incidents where consumers have been had by devices in ATMs and grocery terminals that can steal credit and debit card info and then ultimately wipe out a consumer's bank account. They are being advised to monitor their accounts closely and report anything that looks suspicious. Newington police investigating after an overnight burglary at a storage center in town. They got the call around 1:30 this morning, the Cube Smart facility on Maselli Road. That's where a witness reported 3 suspects fleeing in a pickup truck. Police say over a dozen units showed signs of forced entry. Vice President Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz spending their first day as running mates in Wisconsin and Michigan. The Harris camp was met on the tarmac in Wisconsin by Republican VP nominee Senator J.D. Vance, who quipped that Air Force Two would be his in 6 months. And Tropical Storm Debbie, or what's left of it, still making a mess down south. The center of Debbie was over the Atlantic, southeast of Charleston, South Carolina, earlier today. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 234 points. The NASDAQ gave back 171, and the S&P was minus 40. Red Sox tonight on TIC. Boston finishes up a 3-game series with the Royals and KC. 7:10 is the pregame here. Yanks and the Angels in the midst of a doubleheader at the stadium, and the Mets are in Colorado. Eastern League, the Yard Goats at Richmond, 6:35 on the Odyssey app. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
He went to doctor after doctor looking for relief and always walked away discouraged. Surgery and drugs hadn't worked before, so why would he try them again? That's when Carmen made an appointment at QC Kinetics.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a spring in my step. The bounce is back in my step. My quality of life improving exponentially since I've been going to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has treated over 35,000 patients like Carmen, using their own healing components, concentrating them into damaged knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. No surgery, no drugs.
The pain's gone, quality of life so much better, and mentally I'm in such a better place because I know that I'm not going to wake up to the same old struggles that I have been dealing with every single day. 10 months ago, no joke, I was a prime candidate for a knee replacement. Today, I'm not because of the treatment I'm receiving at QC Kinetics.
Carmen finally got relief, and it was easy, starting with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000. We have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I don't know why. I feel a little off today. I don't know why. Just do. I was feeling it. I was ready to go in, but something was off. I got a birthday coming up. It's probably because it's 7 days from my birthday. I'm not a birthday guy. I'm just not. My wife, she comes and she's like, I didn't get you anything for your birthday. I don't know what you want. And I was just like, oh, don't bring it up. It's like, not that I'm not, this is going to sound silly. And if it is, if you want to give me crap for it, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I stand by what I'm about to say. When I was 15, the only thing in the world I wanted was to be 55. When I was a teenager and a kid, all I wanted was to be 55. No, not a grown-up. I wanted to be 55. And I'm approaching it. In 7 days, I'm going to be 55. Don't worry, it is everything I thought it would be. I still got the creaks, I have the wisdom. I believe that I've gained a lot of wisdom growing up. I'm doing what I love. I have a beautiful wife. I'm very active. I still hop in and out of the back of U-Haul trucks. I'm talking about grabbing onto the back of the truck, hopping on, I'm active. I look at these guns. I have never been in better shape. Okay, that hurt a little bit. Nonetheless, I've always wanted to be 55. And that's all I wanted. I wanted the people to stop calling me young man. I hate that term. It's like some people tell me women say that they don't like to be called dear. She goes, don't call me dear. It's condescending. I hated when people called me young man. Even when I was 50, and older guys, it was like, you're 50? Oh, you're a young buck. I'm not young. I'm 50. I'm half a century. Slow down there, Shady Acres. I've earned this. So, yes, I get to be the age I wanted to be for over 35 years. And I'm happy about that. That's all I want. That's all I want is to be 55 and do a 55-year-old thing, like maybe play golf. That would be nice. That would be the greatest gift right now. Play a great round of golf in a very cool climate, not a hot one. Play a round of golf. Just chill out, I don't want to play pinochle or bocce, shuffleboard, none of that stuff. I don't even want to play cards or dominoes. I don't want to do any of that. Just want a round of golf. This is important to me. Now, Mark Christopher, I'm not going to ask you how old you are in a BPS traffic center, but
60.
Ah, damn it. Okay. Are you like me? Were you excited about being a grown-up?
I became a grown-up 16 years ago as of Monday. That's when my son was born.
That's a testament.
At that point, I was looking at I got to be an adult now. I have a son.
Wow.
And I didn't get married till I was 41, so I didn't get to sit at the adult table at Thanksgiving until I was 41.
Holy
I sat
moly.
with the kids, until I was 41 years
Can I tell you a great story about when my son was born? I called my mother. When my first wife, and it was the only child we had, but my first wife called up my mom, and I said, Mom, Jeannie's pregnant. And my mother said, oh, baby, you couldn't keep a cactus alive. And that was the
cactus
test.
is pretty easy to maintain.
I know.
You don't even have to water it.
She said you couldn't keep a cactus alive. And I went, thanks, Mom. I much appreciate it.
Vote of confidence there from your mother.
So I feel you on the grown up at 41. Or having your son. That was
44.
your 44.
44. I was like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how you know you arrived. That's how you know you've arrived. It's like now I have to take care of an actual human being.
Right. Right. All the days of playing 18 are over. I'm gonna be home with this little guy, and I got to take care of him.
Yeah.
So because I worked a split shift, and I had the middle of the day open, and when wifey was at work, and little guy never liked to take naps. So. Yeah, it was. You know what? As they say, the days were long, but the years go by quickly.
That they do, sir.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of 91, just a little slow at 32A and B. And again, you'll see some slow traffic down by exit 28. More slow traffic down in Meriden as you move down between exit 18 and 17. Northbound 91, that looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney Street. 84 eastbound tight by exit 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291, 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. If you're heading toward Waterbury right now, 84 eastbound slowing by 18, 84 westbound a little tight, 22 into the Mixmaster. And if you're heading down toward New Haven, 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC. Well, it's been cloudy tonight. It's breaks in the overcast. A low of 59 and mainly cloudy tomorrow. A brief shower, 2 highs 75. Humid tomorrow night. A couple of showers, low 66, and quite humid on Friday with rain on occasion, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm. As tropical rainstorm Debbie approaches, it'll become somewhat breezy. A high of 79. Then very humid with showers and thunderstorms for Debbie Friday night. This could lead to flooding. We're concerned about isolated tornadoes with any thunderstorm that moves through. Sometimes see this happen with tropical systems as they come north. And the low temperature Friday night at 71. Right now it is 67 degrees in Canton. It is 70 degrees in Granby and still 69 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Remember, for all station contest rules, go to WTIC.com/rules.
If you or someone you care about has been injured in an accident, you need the Carter Mario Law Firm, Connecticut's firm for the injured. We are ready to fight for you 24/7. So go to getcarter.com or call us at 877-GET-CARTER.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
For eligible. 1 minute. There are only results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at Just go to JabraEnhance.com/try. That's JABRA Enhance.com/try. jawbraenhance.com/try. jawbraenhance.com/try.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Do you remember when we were talking about a couple of days ago phrases or some saying that you use in your regular life? One just came to me, and I was thinking about, the show didn't go the way I wanted to today. But one family saying that always stuck with me is, if you want to make God laugh, make plans. That has stuck with me for my entire life. It's Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Let's get some phone calls in here. I was hoping Joe would call me back, but he probably had some other stuff to get into. So I'm going to go out of order from the list, Roland. Let's go to Dave in Brantford first. Hey, Dave, you're on at Reese on the Radio.
Well, how you doing, Reese? On the electric thing, just to continue on that theme, a lot of the money is going for the blown-up contract with the Danish company Ørsted, who backed out of their contract and left Eversource owing $1.9 billion. It was a contract to pay Ørsted a certain amount per kilowatt hour that we were guaranteed going to buy from them. And I think they paid maybe about $100 million to buy their way out of the contract, because they would not be able to make any money. They would have lost money if they honored the terms of the contract. So they backed out for about 114 mil or thereabouts and left the company, Eversource, holding the bag for all the pre-plan, the design, the engineering, because we're forced into hitting targets along the way to our net zero.
Yeah,
so
that's
by
right.
2030, 2035, 2040, we have to hit certain targets of percentage of renewable energy, and the state wanted to see certain performances along the way. And so long before this industry was mature and ready, Eversource was forced to sign contracts with something that had never been done, which is to put like 1,000 megawatts of windmill power out in the middle of the Sound, 12 miles offshore, and it turned out you couldn't do it for the price. And the other thing is, I think the folks can notice, because of the many storms that took, 5 days or a week to restore power, the politicians would use the utility as a football and kick them when they're down. And so now we waste enormous amounts of money to pre-station out-of-state crews to be ready for a storm that very often never shows up. Better to be ready and not have to than to be not ready.
Need it and not have it, so to speak. Yeah.
And that all has to be paid for, and that is all part of the public benefits. And so there's that percentage, and I think that Eversource contract at $1.9 billion that's going to be paid for by the ratepayers, that's what's going to go on long after the 10-month period is over.
Yeah.
And it's all the politicians' fault, and those are the points. I don't know what Joe wanted to say, but I hope he calls back.
Yeah, he's on the line now. We're going to get to him soon enough. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dave. My pleasure, sir. All right, now I'll go to Rudy in Florida real quick. Rudy, what's going on, sir?
Hey, I'm going to talk about Fazio, but first, when you get older than dirt, you don't care about birthdays, but I know you want a Flavor Flav clock around your neck.
I can barely hear you, Rudy, but no, I do not want a Flavor Flav clock around my neck.
With that bush where I'm not going to go where it is, but anyways, you broke news today.
Wait a minute, I couldn't hear you. You're still too far away. Something's going on with your phone.
You had breaking news today.
What was that?
Frank admitted twice he was born in the hood.
Yes, sir.
And on the third time, he said, I was born in that neighborhood. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I was born in Sicily, but I grew up there. He's a fraud. But here's the deal with Fazio. I don't know if you've been seeing Mark on Twitter.
Yeah.
But he's blown up everybody that votes Republican in the state of Connecticut for supporting these frauds like Fazio and everybody else. They all fall in line with with Ben Proto.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even broadcast this was coming your way. If they wanted to win an election, all they had to do
was tell everyone
in July, say you're going to get hit with 20% to pay all the deadbeats off. And Mark has been blowing it up. I mean, I don't even think he can get on Lee Elsey or Gary Byron anymore because he accused them of covering up for the politicians that get on the radio station, and he's absolutely correct. Tony D'Angelo's mad at him. Jay Cherry's mad at him. They're all mad at Mark But this is what Mark has been fighting. They cover up and sugarcoat the Republican weak response to this stuff. And these guys have never come out and said, hey, if I was running for office in November, I'd be like, you guys, you got to give up on this Democrat team because you're about to get whacked with a 20% tax for the next 10 months, and then it gets reevaluated. And it could go up and never go away after 10 months.
Yeah, in fact,
So-
that's right. That was the other part.
Fazio hasn't said. I've been watching Fazio's account during this whole thing.
Yeah.
And he's just screaming at Ned Lamont.
Well,
but he never said a word before these bills came out. And the only person that's been screaming about it is Dan Moresi, and he can't even get elected because Proto doesn't want him in office.
I saw that was the reason why.
Even Logan was there on the bill. You support George Logan? He hasn't said a word about it.
That's the exact reason why I said what I said to him, is that they're not going or even talking to the people who are going to be the most affected by it, and I don't understand why they're not. Talking about it on
You know
TIC
why?
and talking
Because
about it on
they're
Twitter.
all in bed with Ben Proto. I call them Protocrats because Ben Proto is in bed with the Democrats to get along, to go along, and he gets little nibblets, and so does the RTCs and all the communities. And then everyone votes in Ben Proto's candidates that the Democrats approve, and George Logan is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, George Logan voted for a bill that would let Connecticut determine electoral college based on popular vote. Like, he is not a Republican, and you're screwed. He's Joe from Simsbury's candidate. He is not a good candidate, and they block the good candidates everywhere.
Yeah.
They blocked Levy.
There is a listen.
And
There,
went with them as Clarendon.
there's a uniparty system or situation that's happening in New England. Is right.
The GOP is bought off.
Yeah,
It is bought
it's
off,
funny that you
and it's-
say this because this is the same thing that's happening in Massachusetts as well.
It's not happening in Florida.
Yeah, I hear you,
It is
buddy.
not.
I hear you.
Or Texas.
Let me go to Joe in New Hampshire. He's called back. Joe, this is obviously a problem. I don't want to get under anybody's skin as of yet, but you called in earlier to break down this whole public benefit charge, and you said you've done some other research. What can we now, or what have you now gleaned beyond the public benefit charge, or is there something deeper within that charge?
Well, the whole thing is the Republicans knew this was in the works, and they didn't speak up before the election. This is why I got out of Connecticut 4.5 years ago. The taxes were getting too high. No one was really protesting. Republican Party leader would only complain after the election was lost. The day after November, whatever, he'd get on the radio, WTIC, and say, oh, this, and this. But where were you prior to the election? Like this election coming up, there's so many issues that the Republicans could win on. I mean, start with the Senate race with, what's his name? Murphy. Murphy in 2000 was in debt over $100,000. He got into politics, state legislature. You look up his resume: state legislature, congressperson, and Senate. Now he's worth about $13 million. He's got 3 large homes. He's been to the Ukraine as much or more than the Bidens. Why don't the Republican Party just run against Murphy on where did you get all this money, on corruption? Why don't they do that? They're afraid. I don't understand.
I don't either.
So there's just so many issues and so much to work with, and no one's really doing anything. I keep track of Connecticut and the ads. I come down and visit Manchester a couple of times a month. I'm not that far, hour and a half ride where I am. But they don't really seem to try, and it must be that it's like a social club. The Republicans will always be in the minority, but they get to go to all the parties.
You know what it is? I think,
socialize.
Joe, what I really think is going on is the fact that I don't think that any of them think that they've got a shot in hell at winning. So they do sort of go along to get along. It's like it's the palace intrigue of back and forth with one another, and everybody's in cahoots because no one really wants to change anything. They just want to remain in power or have their little niche within the state, whatever the case may be.
Take the governor, Ned Lamont, going back, before his last election. His wife made the company she was with made millions. Remember those masks?
Yeah.
Well, Bob Stefanowski, out of his own pocket, even before the election cycle started, was driving down to New Jersey every Saturday morning with his wife, and he came up to Rentschler Field, and there were lines and lines of automobiles. He was handing out the masks free to people, $6 a car. And he was doing this out of the generosity of his own pocket. He did it for like 4 weeks while Ned Lamont says there was a backlog on getting the masks. He was getting them from China. And the information I've gotten over the past couple of years, he got them from China at a huge discount, but then they charged the taxpayers of Connecticut like 8 or 10 times what it cost.
Probably the case.
And there was, kickbacks everywhere on those masks. And the Republicans have, if I have this information, the Republicans can easily get it, or they have it, and they don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going to the hood, and you're going to be confronted with knives and guns, and you have a machine gun and you never use it. You leave the machine gun in your trunk and you come out and just walk out and confront people. You've got the machine gun fully loaded and you don't even pick it up. I mean, the Republicans I could run the Republican Party in Connecticut and I would do it for free. What does Prado get? $400,000 a year to be the figurehead, to be the prop. I would do it out of concern for, Connecticut for free.
I think
Give me
that
the campaign for 3 months.
There will come a time when all of that stuff will have to come to an end. Joe, I appreciate you calling me back. I apologize.
Watch the market. It's down 21 more points right now. The aftermarket is still dropping.
Just literally watched it before you called in. I had it on the screen. My wife was looking at it. Thank you, Joe.
Look out tonight. It's going to be a big drop. Thank you, Reverend.
You got it, sir. I totally saw Joe, and I immediately thought it was Joe and Simsbury on the line, and I completely forgot. We're already at the end of the show. Thank you, Mark, for telling me. That's my fault. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. We can do it all again tomorrow. We'll start over from the beginning. Someone was asking, Fume, actually up in Buffalo, said, what was magic about 55 when you were a kid? Weirdly enough, because today would be frowned upon, some of the coolest guys I knew walked out of the Korean War or the Vietnam War. And they were in or around that age. And they were funny. And they were smart. They just knew everything, in my view. They just knew everything. And they had sort of like a funny story to tell. They had some sort of anecdote that would blow my mind. And they just embarked a lot of wisdom on me. They just seemed like they cared about me growing up with some sort of knowledge. They were not fearful. And I wanted to grow up to be like them. I wanted to be 55 so I could be like them. And about, I want to say 16 at the time, VFWs, of course, they're all over the place. You still get those kind of guys, at the VFW, with some of them embarking some wisdom that they learned in Germany and Korea or something like that, or they had wild stories, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. So, yes, when I was a kid, being 55 to me was perfect. I want to be that age. And now I'm here. And I don't know. It feels great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. If I had my choice, I'd be 55 forever. I think it's like, for me, it's the sweet spot. That's my view. It sounds kind of silly, but it's my view. But I don't know. It's just where I am. Mark Christopher, 60. Is that your sweet spot, or are you beyond your sweet spot, Mark?
Oh, I'm well beyond my sweet spot.
Is it getting to the point where it's cricking and all that other craziness? Is any of that stuff, like every time you move, something sort of pops and crackles?
You know what it is? I feel the pain, but I just keep going. It's like if you stop moving, you're done. I just keep going.
Do you still run?
Keep going hard.
Even
I don't run.
You don't run for anything? Like you've never even casually jogged?
No. I'll walk. I'll walk 3 miles, but I ain't running. I ain't running anytime soon. Maybe on an elliptical or a treadmill, I'll move. But
I tried to run.
As far as outside, no.
I tried to run the other day.
No, don't do it. You're gonna kill your knees.
It hurt so bad.
Yeah. It's funny, like 40 years ago, I could run all day. I could run up and down with a basketball or chase a soccer ball or play baseball, but
not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Happening
I know.
anymore.
I didn't even say that. I didn't even do my closing line today, but nonetheless.
No,
Mark,
you got to do it.
You got to do it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. He is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, Reese, thank you, and it's going to hurt. At 55, it's going to hurt. You can't
hope
avoid
not.
that. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, just a little slow as you move into the tunnel.
All right, good sir.
Farmington,
yeah.
Okay,
But thank you for that. I appreciate what you wrote.
291, moving well. 2 eastbound's okay.
That's just
Glastonbury
me.
to Marlboro,
That's
5
me. I do
downtown,
that to myself.
84 west.
Yeah, I understand.
But I appreciate
South
you, man.
95, New Haven, type 40.
No problem.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Traffic and weather.
Yes, sir.
WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day.
All right. Party people in the house. Thank you, Sharon. Who's the person that says he will run the Republican Party? He can start today at Joe in New Hampshire. Oh, I needed today to work a little better, but it didn't. But that's okay. We got another shot to do it tomorrow. All right. You guys be good. I always appreciate you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you back here tomorrow.